All right, it's shipcast night. We got Will Levis versus Kenny Pickett, but more importantly, we got late round QB versus Soccer Dave. Of course, our resident Steelers and Titans fans will be joining us tonight. We got Pick Em Sweats. We'll set those up for you. And if we hit our core Pick Em entry tonight on Underdog, one of you will win $200. We also got, of course, Stephanie Miller swinging by in the third quarter to round up the Week 9 waivers and recap our high stakes teams. It's the shipcast with Pete, Ben, and Pat. Let's do it.
Pat Fryer Helmuth.
This is why I'm hot.
Anita Handjob.
Fix your sight.
Jamar Alpha Play Chase.
Are you kidding me? Kadarius Toney?
You can't handle the heat.
Pete, it looks like we're finally Piss Boys. You're right.
All right, late round QB. The question everyone's wondering, can the East Coast dad stay up for this entire game? That's why you showed up at the start, because you're like, I might be asleep by the end of the first quarter.
That's
right?
definitely part of the reason. Also, part of the reason was I don't know how to read, and I should have just come in the second quarter instead of the first. But I told you guys, I'm staying the full first half. I might fall asleep towards the end of the first half.
Yeah.
But look, I got a 10-month-old. So my son and Pete's daughter are basically the same age, or around the same age. So like,
yeah.
I mean, Pete, you're in the thick of it. You know that you're now trained to just be awake at all times, even if the kid's sleeping well at this point. So I'm good to go, man. I'm ready to ride.
Love it. Do you worry that it hurts kind of like the East Coast dad branding though, when you're just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for this game right now?
A little bit. Yeah. I did tell Pete beforehand that there's a stomach bug that like literally I think just hit my wife and me tonight. So if you see a black screen hit my box here, you know what's going on. But don't blame the me being asleep or tired thing on that. It's more so that my daughter brought something home and now there's just something in the house, because this is dad life, man.
All right. Gretch, Pat, how you guys doing? I just saw an Allen Robinson catch before I could even pull up one of our 5 legs here.
Oh, no.
But we got to set up our pick 'em entries. But how are you guys feeling?
Well, worse now.
Worse. Allen Robinson was one of the unders we took on the 5 legs. So
Let's
a rough
see
sweat
here.
now.
Hey, we got a Jaylen Warren catch though.
Jaylen Warren reception was one of them though.
Yeah.
We do have Jaylen Warren in the core entry here. This is the one that will unlock the giveaway. So we got Jaylen Warren higher than 3 receptions. So he already has 1. That's a good start. Diontae Johnson, 10.75 fantasy points. We got the higher there. And then Will Levis, 2.5 sacks taken. This is more of a late round QB pick 'em entry here. I think Soccer Dave would have been more disappointed to see this one. JJ, you like these Steelers numbers?
I dig it. I'm all for it. I mean, look, I know that I'm like a Steelers guy from Pittsburgh, born and raised, but I'm very much like if you were to talk to 19-year-old JJ, he would be super hardcore Steelers. Now I'm just kind of like, I like them. Yeah. I mean, like they're still my team, but it's not like I go. I feel like Soccer Dave probably likes the Titans more than I like the Steelers, is what I'm saying.
I think Soccer Dave likes the Titans more than any analyst likes any team.
Right? I love that.
He just likes the Titans when it's convenient to like the Titans, which is a fancy way to say
In the summer? Does that mean you mean in the summer?
Yeah. Yeah, so this is our 3-leg, and then we did end up spinning up a couple of 5-leg entries here. Let me get those on the screen. I will say, it seems like, has he been out on the field for this first drive?
Yeah.
Or is this a Jaylen Warren first drive?
No, he got the first 2 touches. He was out there. But yeah, no, it's been Warren basically ever since.
Okay. Let's see here. I'll show the 5-leg one. So we spun it off because we had 2 little correlation plays we liked. So one was playing Treylon Burks higher than 24.5 receiving yards in the same entry with Nick Westbrook-Akine lower than 16.5 receiving yards, kind of playing a usage shift there as Treylon Burks works back from injury. And then the other one that we were already kind of lamenting here, Allen Robinson lower than 1.5 receptions. He's only had 1 reception in each of the last 2 games. It already has 1. So that's going to be a brutal sweat. And then Derrick Henry under 17.5 rush attempts.
Look, I got to say, I was in a matchup last week and someone had Darnell Mooney in the Monday night game, and that first play of the game happens. Remember where he caught that like bomb down the sideline? I'm like, you've got like, he needed to not score like 11 fantasy points or something. I mean, you got to be kidding me right now. Doesn't catch a pass the rest of the game. You guys are doing what they, Rob. You're good.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, we've been trying to see. This is our thing, JJ. If you just do all hires, you come across as a bunch of fishes, a bunch of square betters.
Right,
so
right.
you mix in a couple lowers there to make sure people know you know ball.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I feel that. I feel that.
We almost did.
Oh, what's
Gretch
that?
was trying to sell us on a Tajay Spears over as like a
Yeah.
sneaky kind of like, it was like a line we liked better than the Henry under. And so it's almost a sneaky under, but I was like, we can't do 5 over Scratch. We got to prove we know ball.
We got to prove we know ball.
Stephanie wants to know in the chat, where did that go? Are you, JJ, are you a Najee or Warren guy? Because these were the great battles of Bestball Twitter this summer.
Yeah, Jaylen Warren was one of my highest rostered guys this year, and Najee, I think I think I had like 1 or 2% Najee this season. So, I mean, I don't even know if it's a W at this point because it's not like Jaylen Warren's doing that much.
Hey, we're counting it, JJ. It's a W.
I'm gonna take.
And Gretch, you said this Diontae Johnson hire. Normally, I like to say Gold Star Lock of the Week. You said Gold Star Lock of the Century, right?
I said I've never been more sure of anything in my life than Diontae going over this line. I feel fantastic about it. He just got a target wide open. Kenny Pickett chucked it over his head, so that's feeling great. I mean, it's
well, hey, if he was 100 feet tall, he probably would have caught it. So.
Is that going to be the issue for him? There's a catch. Very next play. No, his role's been different this year. Higher ADOT in week 1 before he got hurt on his 6 targets. Came back a little bit higher than usual, like 9 point something in week 7 was his first game back. But he was efficient on that. He caught one downfield pass. It was literally his highest yards per target in a single game of his career with 5 or more targets. There's like a 59 game sample that this guy's never had good yards per target. And then he comes back last week and has the most air yards in a single game of his career. It was like 30 clear of any other games. And he had another high ADOT, like 14 plus ADOT. It's been a little bit different. And that was sort of the idea. He's only ever played with late stage Ben Roethlisberger and rookie Kenny Pickett. Could year 2 Kenny Pickett actually push Diontae down the field a little? We might actually get like an average yards per target. I think it's going to happen. There it is. I think it's going to – that was a downfield target.
That was a downfield target.
That was the dictionary definition of downfield. Pat, was that a splash zone target or too close to the sideline?
No, it was too close to the sideline. But, hey, we'll take it, man.
All right.
Just pull in your targets. I don't care where
JJ, where are you with us? So we're all watching Amazon Prime on our computers, I believe.
Same. I think you guys are a play ahead of me.
Okay.
I guess internet. I've had plenty of internet issues during the last year here in Charlotte, outside of Charlotte. So maybe that's part of it.
Do you have on your phone?
A phone, yeah. The phone handy would be the way to go. For some reason, it's always faster.
Oh my God.
Najee!
Did he score?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We almost did a Najee under, and then I was like, I think I just want to do this. I don't see any lines that actually make sense.
I'll tell you what.
We stayed off.
Because I do rankings and stuff now with my Patreon and whatnot. And like I historically have not been like a big rankings guy, that kind of deal. But I'm a sellout. And so every week I've like had the hardest time ranking Najee versus Jaylen Warren. I'm crossing my fingers that I had Najee ahead of Jaylen Warren this week, but their usage is like, I mean, it's like, even from like an expected fantasy points perspective, like everything's like the same, right? It's just like flipping a coin every week between the two.
But don't we all have to admit, and I'd say this as someone who like took one share of Najee all year, but he's like playing some of his best football. Like he's playing much better than he
since
has
the bye.
Played.
Yeah, since the bye, he's been pretty good for a couple games.
There's a primacy bias there, I think, where he had right out of the gate, he had like some better rushing efficiency than we were used to. But like in the rush yards over expected, he's a negative now. His success rate isn't good. So he's been bad in all the receiving stuff. He hasn't been as bad as like he normally is, but he's still been pretty bad.
He stinks.
So would it be optimal for them?
That's the best ball of his career. He's been not quite that terrible.
It's the best football of his career, and he's basically Devin Singletary. It's been great, man.
Right.
If you're grading on the Najee curve, he's crushing his previous versions of himself. That's my point.
I just want, there was stuff like, Kyle was like, oh my God, he's crushing in rush yards over expected in like week 3. And like those days are over. He's actually way down from that.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see here. Shout out to everyone hanging out in the chat tonight. Like I said, if we hit this core entry here, we will unlock a $200 giveaway. And Yeah, we're in good shape here. It's nice seeing Jaylen Warren getting that first catch there. Although, I guess we need if the Steelers really start to boat race them, then we start to worry a little bit about the receiving numbers. I think.
Yeah. What was the line?
For sure.
3 receptions.
Okay.
And then Diontae needs 10-something fantasy points, but he got, even in half, he got 4.2 on that first drive. That was a good first drive. 32 yards. That was a good first drive. Yeah.
JJ, where do you, because I feel like one of the other main national talking points about the Steelers has been Matt Canada. And it's like, it seems like he, like Najee, is the ultimate punching bag, and yet he never goes away.
Yeah.
Does Matt Canada need to go?
Yeah. You know what's hilarious is like there's nothing better than when I go home to pick, because I live in Charlotte now, for folks who don't know. And so the best is going back home to Pittsburgh and turning on sports talk radio and listening to like the Yinzer accent and just like people just going nuts and stuff. And every single topic, when you go, we went back, this was back in like early August. People were already talking about hating on Canada even before the season started. And then like the Penguins season starts, like the hockey season, right? And there's a Fire Canada chant going on at the arena. Like this is how down bad Matt Canada is in the city of Pittsburgh. I'm with them though, man. I mean, it's rough. It's very, very rough.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because I mean, go, Pat.
How did you guys not go with Blame Canada? You got the South Park song there.
Yeah, I don't know. I also thought it was. I thought it was a little risky, also to have a Fire Canada or Blame Canada type chant at a hockey game. I mean, my God, there's a lot of Canadians going.
You could sing Blame Canada anywhere. I feel like that's more festive. You can do it works better for other sports.
Hey, Kitchen, the Steelers are up 7-0, buddy.
Is that why you came on to try to restore the for the Titans?
Yeah, I had Najee Harris first touchdown scorer, so I knew it was going to happen.
Cool, man.
Kitchen actually placed a bet on every single player to score first touchdown, so he could come on the air and say he had the first touchdown score.
Yeah, he lost $900.
Favorite part about this is Pete telling us that, usually guests show up in the second quarter, and JJ being like,
I clearly didn't thoroughly read what Pete had sent us.
We sent him a message on the side, and we're like, JJ, you can come at the beginning.
Come before Kitchen gets in here, please.
No, I sent Kitchen a message on the side. I was like, JJ's here early. Feel free to come whenever you want. And Dave was like, I'll get over here.
Yeah, I told the girls, like, you got to put yourselves to bed tonight. And it's like, why? I was like, well, it all started with a guy named Late Round QB.
Once upon a time. Here's our nighttime story.
Yes. So,
well, Kitchen, we appreciate you joining us. I know you generally like to be just laser focused and watch every single Will Levis snap on your own. So for you,
I'm missing some flash drafts for this. So.
You can multitask. Yeah. You can multitask.
Will Levis is about to go 90 yards on the Steelers defense, and I am absolutely here for it. I will say, though, Steelers electing to receive the ball was ballsy. Like, usually you wouldn't think at home you would do that. I guess they had something to prove.
Yeah,
this is the most analysis of the coin toss decision that I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a 50-50 thing, Kitchen. I don't know.
Well, no, electing to receive to start the half. Like you would think that they would want to put Levis on his heels to start.
Oh, put him on it.
Yeah, they're at home, right? Yeah. Get the rookie QB and get good field position to start your drive, and you get the ball at the end of or at the beginning of the second half. Do you guys not believe that there is a distinct advantage of having the ball to start the second half?
No, I think that I'm just ribbing you at least.
That's what we all. Even when Kitchen makes a good point, you just keep ribbing him. That's
exactly. I want to go back to how many first TD scorer tickets you had. You had just Najee. Let's dive into this. How many did you have?
Yeah, I didn't actually have any first touchdown scores. I don't do first touchdown. I just did not want JJ to have the satisfaction of the Steelers being up 7-0 and acting like it did not hurt me. Look at who. Oh, wow. Watt roughing the passer?
Yeah, I
You're
went
way
to my
behind us.
phone. I'm now ahead of Kitchen, so I feel
Nice.
good that I'm
Yeah,
I'm with
Kitchen's
you
like
guys.
90 seconds behind us now. Hang on. For people who don't know, because Kitchen and JJ have known each other for a long time. Kitchen, where does JJ fall as part of your
Oh,
tree?
I want to. Yeah, I
here?
want to hear this. I want to hear this.
I don't think that JJ is a part of the tree, but JJ is in the grove, right? Like JJ is, yeah.
In the grove.
To be fair, you introed me to a lot of the some DFS folks and stuff.
100%. And
Yeah.
I've always
In
been in
grove.
JJ's corner since like day one.
It's true.
Back before he was like a big shot and like big timing and making everyone work around his schedule. He was just a regular guy producing this memo with this like groundbreaking thing as far as late round QB, and I was on board with it. And he was a part of the Fantasy Insider shows. Yeah, it's pass interference. Can't do
What
that.
Kitchen is saying is, in a lot of ways, he invented late round quarterback.
Right.
I'm not gonna say I invented it, but I did draft a quarterback late that year that he came up with this thing.
Did JJ notice it and was like, huh?
Everybody's drafted Michael Vick, but I was on
Kitchen,
board.
I spent a year working directly under you. I don't think I've ever heard from you or known if I'm in your tree. I'm very curious about that now too. I know Pat is and Pete is. You've
Am I?
claimed
Yeah.
them. Yeah, you're not, but he's claimed you.
No, Pat has grafted himself onto the tree. Gretch,
Oh,
I
I
think
grafted
you're-
myself.
I think there's a
I'm
part of like the
willingly-
daily fantasy part of this where what I like is I like guys that have good personalities. Now, you guys don't fit exactly into that category, but for the majority of guys that, because I think if you know ball,
that's why you got Davis Maddock, of course.
right? Yeah. If you know ball and you have like a good personality, I believe that like it is a good mix to mix those type of personalities with guys that do play daily fantasy because those guys are just all about like, oh, salary caps and game theory and to have someone ADP, to have someone that can just break things down from the game level. So that's why I think like JJ and Silva and these guys that were a part of the original kind of Fantasy Insiders tree, Drew Dinkmeyer, Leone, those guys, like we had a lot of fun back in the day.
We did.
And so it's fun seeing everyone kind of grow up, even Davis, so.
Were you guys weren't you both at that conference where Davis was at the infamous like tie-dye or wheat
Bro, I
socks
I have a picture. I'm on my phone because of this freaking game because I had to catch up with you guys, but I have a picture of Maddock. Is San Francisco 2014, I think, Kitchen?
2014.
Odell Beckham year.
Yeah, exactly. So this 18-year-old kid who's telling everyone that Odell Beckham sucks shows up to this conference, middle of the conference, where someone's like talking about something that no one was really listening to, and then Maddock, at the end of like a really boring panel, they're like, "Do you have any questions?" You're like, "Please don't. No one ask questions. Like, I got to get out of here and like get tea or something like that, just to get the heck out of this place." And Maddock decides to stand up and ask a question wearing a bucket hat and a tie-dye T-shirt at this conference.
And
Question?
and you're missing one key thing, and marijuana leaf socks.
Yeah, marijuana.
Like,
That's right. Yeah.
Do you remember the
go,
question?
go.
I can't imagine Davis asking a question at a conference now. Like, he would never do that.
No, it was definitely pretty irrelevant, the question. I don't remember what the panel was.
Best part is like he stood up and like took off his hat. Like that would make it like
yeah. And
Like
he's got
it was
this
the
hair.
National
He's like just, he looks like he literally got picked up off the street. I mean, like it was rough.
Oh man.
but I loved it. I did. I mean, it's a part of the bit saying, Davis, but I like that. I like, I like seeing Josh Moore walk around with the 4for4 red tracksuits.
Tracksuit.
Yeah. So like those, like that stuff, there was back in 2014, like DFS was the redheaded stepchild. It was looked down upon by the rest of the industry. We had like our own little table at the back, but it was not until these sites started like just dumping money on these like season-long fantasy sites to promote their affiliates that they're like, yeah, daily fantasy is okay. So that's kind of how it was like back in the day.
I'm pretty
it's
sure
crazy to believe it's 10 years ago.
That was my first like real experience with a lot of the DFS, like the high stakes DFS folks and stuff. Like Jennings was there and Smiz was there and stuff, and I'd never met them before, and got to hang out with them and stuff. And I remember I believe that was the week or the time period where people were grinding MLB, right? Because it was in the middle of June. And I think it was one of the games where like Coors Field had the fire hydrant situation where like the fire hydrant exploded or something like that, and there was water everywhere, and so they had to cancel the Coors game. And I never seen like I hadn't been around DFS in that exposure to like the amount of money they were playing and like all of that. I had no idea that it was as big as it was. And I see these dudes just losing thousands of dollars, and I'm like, this is batshit. Like, this is insane what's going on right now, all because of a freaking fire hydrant. But that was my first exposure to it all.
Yeah,
Incredible.
that was a crazy night. Tommy G was at the blackjack tables, and like putting $100, or maybe it was roulette, putting $100 bills every time, and just losing every time. And so by the end, he was putting $20 bills every time. Like it quickly changed, but man, those were wild times. We were talking about that in the office today about just the evolution of fantasy and how it has just widened so much. Because back in the day, it was pretty much just like, your season long. Yeah. And that was it. There was a few dynasty leagues for the hardcore people.
Right.
Don't tell me what happened, Pete.
Sorry.
Levis sack?
Yeah. We have sacks. We have over 2.5 sacks taken. Sorry, Kitchen.
Get out of here.
What's the flag?
Give us a hold. They'll decline a hold.
Highsmith, man.
No.
Do they grab? I didn't see the play.
It's got to be illegal grabbing.
Illegal grabbing.
It's offsides.
Seems like you're throwing shit against the wall.
What's the signal, Kitchen, for illegal grabbing?
Yeah, show us. Is it?
I think it's on.
Yeah, that's what they do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Giving them the business.
I only look at spreadsheets. I don't watch the games. So.
Offside.
I told you there's a reason why he got to him so fast.
Have you even seen the play yet?
Yeah.
He's
unblocked. He's unblocked. Imagine that when you jump a half a second in front. Anyways.
Oh wait,
back to the evolution.
Oh, it was the DB that was offside. It wasn't even the D end.
Oh, was that Joey Porter?
It was the freaking slot corner line. Joey Porter lined up across the line.
So Joey Porter, he went to my high school,
Penn State.
Yeah, and then he went to Penn State, but he went to my high school. So I gotta rep some Joey Porter Jr.
Is this just a story you say to Trump Denny when he talks about Kevin Durant going to his high school?
Yeah, Denny makes that up. There's no way that's real. Yeah, no.
What? DeAndre Hopkins.
Throw it.
Don't you get sacked, Hopkins? That doesn't help us.
Gosh,
well, that doesn't help us, does it?
That
would be an official sack, and it wouldn't be a Levis higher.
It wouldn't be a Levis sack. Yeah. Can't have that.
Kitchen, is Treylon Burks ever going to be a thing?
I did put him in a parlay for over 23.5 yards. That's
okay.
legit.
We have him in one of that too. Yeah.
I love the chat is like, LOL, Kitchen was right. Kitchen knows ball. And then someone goes, it wasn't even the guy that sacked him, Kitchen, you goofball.
I've got it up on a side window.
Speaking of Burks, let me ask you guys this. So I do that. We have a main event team, the Silva, Matic, Reeves, Norman main event team.
Oh yeah.
And we had our last spot was down to Roshan or Treylon tonight. Which way would you guys have gone?
Treylon.
Oh,
Treylon.
That's what we
I might have played Roshan. I don't know. Yeah, that's close. We played Treylon in the league.
You're praying for 7 points. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah.
But
how's that team doing? I vaguely remember. I remember listening to that episode. I can't remember your players.
We took Cup. I think we're 5-3 right now.
Okay.
We took Cup, and then the team's fine. We have like Lamar and stuff, and it's doing all right. So we're definitely hoping for playoffs, but it's not as like baller as it could have been.
Yeah.
As it probably should be with 5 fantasy analysts drafting a team together.
Well,
and sometimes it's too many cooks in the kitchen. You're like,
I know,
you're giving and
we agreed. Well, the part of the problem is that like whenever
we go.
Dang, TJ Watt's.
Oh, that's gonna be hands in the face. It's got to be hands in the face on the offensive line.
That's grabbing on the offense.
Grabbing on the offense.
Yeah,
grabbing. The thing with that draft though was that like you have Thorman, who's going to be pretty quiet. Reeves is fairly quiet. Like, I'm not going to really be confrontational during it. So it's really just Maddock and Evan just going back and forth the entire time.
But Davis capitulates in that environment far more than he normally does. He defers to the big dog pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's very fair.
That's what gets me about Davis is that he has strongly held opinions until someone else says something different, and he's like, you know what, you're probably right. Like,
Davis's grip on his opinions has loosened it's almost concerning now how loose his grip is. He's changing his opinions left and right.
He's got a baby grip strength. It's a very
Tyler says 5 fantasy analysts is way too many. Someone take a screenshot of this real quick.
You're in luck. Can we get a touchdown here?
No,
well,
you're
I hate to break it to you, buddy.
Spoiler alert.
But just kick the ball to the big yellow thing.
Still, successful drive. Starting your own 10, you go to the other 10.
And Will Levis look decent enough, competent enough.
Yeah, got one sack out of that. We'll take that.
I was gonna just say here, Jaylen Warren 1 reception, Diontae Johnson up to 4.2 fantasy points. Will Levis 1 sack taken. Nice pace.
Chat's excited. Excited. $200 on the line for somebody.
There are too many fantasy analysts on Twitter.
There's too many fantasy analysts, period.
It's not wrong.
Like,
it's not wrong.
A lot of
actually, I want to get your guys' take on this because I see it pop up every once in a while. Like, what is your guys' take on the fantasy receipts account?
I don't follow.
I think it's mean-spirited.
I think it's an okay concept that he executes horribly.
I agree.
It is so poorly done. Like, it would have been a fun concept if it had some kind of fun spin to it, and he's awful at it.
The problem is, like, if you look at Old Takes Exposed, the way that guy handles it is perfect because it's just like a sarcastic, like one-liners, like no beef, like it's just a dude that's just having fun with it. And then fantasy receipts could be great, and there are some tweets that are really good that they send that like, own the analyst. But then when you get into the beef and when there's like the drama behind it all, that's whenever it gets Kitchen's all quiet right now because he's the one who's running the account.
Notice they've never said anything about me. But also
they're not watching the Swolecast to grab clips from there, so we're fine.
They don't know who you are. You're so old.
The one ChatGPT says I'm one of the most influential fantasy football analysts. But do y'all follow the Fantasy Gazette?
Yeah,
it's like
the what?
They had a really good tweet today. Sometimes
Pat, it's what you used to do with the fake Roto Blurb account.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today
we used to do Roto Blurb. That helped me get hired at Roto World, by the way. It's like, can you blurb? I was like, well, I used to do fake versions of your blurbs. Is that helpful?
Today's tweet was Arthur Smith reveals that fantasy football killed his parents.
Yeah,
that's great.
Just like a classic tweet because of how riled up that fantasy football and NFL Twitter gets at Arthur Smith.
Speaking of which, JJ, you get some really interesting people in your mentions, and I always love the way you handle it. But you had one with Arthur Smith earlier.
Oh my god, there was one dude. Oh my god,
what did he call you? He called you something obnoxious.
Yeah, it was basically this dude like called me out. So Josh Norris had sent the tweet out saying that Arthur Smith was unlikable because of him saying the toxic groupthink thing about Desmond Ridder. Because like reporters were like, "Hey, are you going to bench him or like what's going on with Desmond Ridder because he sucks and you're literally not doing anything about it." And then he was like, "Oh, that's just toxic groupthink. You're not watching the film." That's basically what his answer was. And so Norris responds and says that the way that Arthur Smith like basically treats reporters and acts is he makes him very unlikable. And I was like, I quote tweeted Norris, and I was like, exactly. The people think that it's just like, we hate the way that Arthur Smith uses Kyle Pitts and Drake London, but it's beyond that. It's that he's just a very unlikable dude. Like everything he says in the media, and obviously the way that he handles those guys we don't like, but like, the way what he says in the media and how he talks about fantasy football, and just like, it's just stupid. It's just silly. And so I commented on that, and then some dude randomly comes at me saying that I had like a huge ego because I thought that I was better than Arthur Smith at coaching, and that I'm not a reporter and I have no idea what I'm talking about. Just going on and on and on.
But my favorite part was later in this thread, he winds up going on like a 7 explanation of he knows like everything, the backstory of everything. You never mentioned Kyle Pitts. He tells exactly what's wrong with Kyle Pitts. Right. He's not getting open. He's not hitting his blocks. His routes are crap. I just found this. It's the whole thing. Arthur's offense is about taking advantage of matchups. Like, he knows the whole thing. It's like he's calling you egotistical because you don't agree with his extremely egotistical take.
Exactly. Exactly. And then I'm like, dude, I just called him unlikable. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Right now I'm getting fried from people because I said that, like, all I said from that Pat McAfee Nick Saban thing. Did you guys see that earlier today?
The analytics thing.
Yeah, Nick Saban's quote was, a lot of people are going for it on 4th down now, and they talk about analytics saying you've got this percentage chance to make it. What the analytics don't tell you is what happens when you don't make it, and those consequences are pretty significant. And so
the other team gets the ball.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty significant. It's just complete bullshit. Like, it's not real. And so all I said is, how is this real? That's the only thing that I said when I quote tweeted it. And now everyone's coming at me and they're like, did you coach a team to a national championship? Dude, this is about math. It has nothing to do with football.
How dare you criticize Nick Saban?
The
One
best
of my
though.
favorite.
Sorry,
go
go ahead, Pete. Go ahead. Buddy.
Oh, I was just gonna say, part of that press conference, or maybe it was last week's Arthur Smith one, he referenced Veep in one of his quotes, which is so ironic because he is like a Veep character, where you're so smug and condescending and think you know everything, but you're actually a total buffoon with like no credentials to do what you're doing. And I was like, quoting Veep is just chef's kiss.
Who's the tall guy? The buffoon, the literal buffoon.
Jonah. That's who I'm visualizing. Jonah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
This one dude in that thread was just going like, I had some time, had like a half hour, so I'm like, I'm going in. Let's do this. Let's have some fun. and so because I got to just be, I have to have the free time / be in the mindset to actually go back and forth with strangers on the internet like this. I did back in the day. I just don't do it anymore. And so this one guy goes, dude, no one is getting win probability stats within 10 seconds of the time the previous play ended to the time it takes to make a decision on 4th down. That's not how things work. No coach has that, not Stefanski, Harbaugh, or any other analytical heavy head coaches. So I then just Googled and I took a screenshot of an article, and the article says, on game days, Harbaugh has people who feed him the analytical numbers for certain situations straight through his headset.
They literally have it in real time.
The most hilarious thing is this guy's acting like headsets like aren't an invention. Like it's like you got to use like Morse code.
They're doing like hand signals from the booth.
Yeah. for win
need a
probability.
computer, some sort of communication device.
The best part is that guy also probably has a tweet in his archives where he's like, it's the 21st century. How do we not have a chip in the ball that tells us when it's a first down?
It's just the same dude. Exactly.
I mean, that is true though. Have you ever watched tennis games, like tennis matches, like on the fly? With these,
with like
it is like,
what about the body
incredible.
part touching the ground? In football, there's 2 elements. There's the football and when the knee hits the ground.
I'm kitchen on this. You should at least.
If only technology could handle 2 things at once.
What did they say was the reason?
Are we gonna put chips in their knee pads, their ass pads, their shoulder pads, their helmet, their elbows? Like,
what was the reason? Because they don't they already have all the technology done and like in place? But they they came out with a reason as to why they don't use the chip, and I can't remember what that reason was.
People like Gretsch.
It's the boomers
inside the box.
What's next? Self-checkout?
We can't do it.
We got to unload the whole truck at Walmart and not just self-checkout days. Yeah, so
Makes the game too fast, probably.
It's not. I've heard a lot of people make the tennis point. It's not the same as tennis. It's not
how
that
tilted
easy.
were you? How tilted were you at the pitch clock, Gretch?
I love the pitch clock. I'm not a boomer. I like technology in sports. I'm just saying it's not as easy as the tennis.
But if there's a chip in the ball, you could at least know, okay, the ball's here for sure. We know that. That's a fact. And now we just got to figure out when the knee went down or whatever.
Well, and you can at least say it progressed this far.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if it's
exactly.
We're
the ball never crossed the goal line. We know that.
Yeah.
It's never crossed the goal line.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter when the knee went down because it never crossed the goal line.
Yeah, that's fair.
great
They should
start.
definitely use it for goal line stuff.
Kitchen, boots on the ground. What has it been like in Tennessee this week? Are you at the grocery store and you can just kind of feel the buzz in the air because of Will Levis?
We're
Like
high-fiving people in
Mayo's out of
line,
stock.
giving people
Mayo's out of
people that are wearing Titans gear, you're just doing the head nod and stuff.
Are you doing go along with the bread loaf? Talking
I swear. Our little friend group, the locals, the guys who would call in on sports talk radio and give their opinion. We're talking about for the past few weeks, Titans just have to tank. They just have to tank and go get Caleb Williams. And I was saying they're not bad enough to tank. And then they got rid of Kevin Byard and traded him to Philadelphia. And I was okay, that might be an obvious move that they want to tank. And then they start, Levis. Well, Levis goes nuclear. And by the second touchdown, we went from we have to tank to sure, we can use a 15th overall pick to, secure an offensive line behind future first ballot Hall of Famer Will Levis. And I lean so much into that because I'm just a positive person. I'm a glass half full person. So even if in the back of my head, I know this is probably not sustainable. I just love the environment of positivity and just hope. I'm not a Tennessee Vols fan, but I love when this group of guys, when Tennessee's winning, because the atmosphere and the environment is so unrealistically positive that I just feed off of it. So
that's what
how it is.
Jennings was saying with the atmosphere in Colorado with primetime in CU, where it's even people who weren't college fans are just getting swept up in it because it's so electric. It's almost undeniable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got Derrick Henry, who were we got to trade him to now. He can be a part of this rebuild, reload, not even a rebuild. So, geez.
How funny was it? The story with the
in 23, 24.
Not
that's
great.
Zach territory, Gretch.
Seems
That's
like a
what
good
we
time
call
to
it.
take a sack. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is they'll probably just run it. I know Vrabel, he'll just run it 3 times just to punt the ball and get field position.
Ooh, shotgun, no back. It's gonna be
Not
a
with
quick
Will
pass.
Levis, baby. It's a new
Quick
era, Kitchen.
pass.
Where are you
Oh,
watching
no,
this?
get that.
Ooh. Ooh, he stood back there, delivered 35 yards.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh man, is that
was
Highsmith
nice.
down? I think Highsmith just tore his ACL.
Oh
No.
no.
Oh,
That's my.
That
That's
doesn't
my.
look good.
You guys like that spicy take? That instant.
Oh no. But that was
How
a
did you
great
even
pass
see
to
that?
DeAndre.
Yeah, that's how I know you're a homer. You weren't even watching Nuke. You were just watching your Pittsburgh defender there.
Yeah, such a steal.
Oh, he was guarding Nuke on the play. Oh, no, he got clipped.
Ooh.
I mean, it wasn't non-contact, so maybe it's a bone bruise. I think that's a
He
good
also
thing.
he leaped into the air, so it might not wasn't.
Should I get off and you guys get a I guess chow on and
I didn't see who
have a
that
real
was.
doctor?
What number was it?
55.
Oh, okay, so that was Cole Holcomb.
I've been DMing Chow Kitchen to come on the shipcast.
I thought you
Does
were
Gretch
this big of.
usually give medical opinions like bone bruise, chip on the knee,
He does.
it's gonna
JJ,
scope-
I thought you
gotta
weren't as big of a
scope
fan.
it.
Do you know the numbers of every player on the Steelers? That's
Not
impressive.
every. I mean, I know. No, I mean, I watch them and have them on, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's more just osmosis. I'm just I follow people on Twitter that are Pittsburgh people and stuff still, and you just
Got
kind
it.
of
All right.
see things pop up. And
I have
You
a
know
fun
the roster
game.
really well.
All right, JJ, could I ask you one?
what?
A
just ripped off
Steelers
Cole
player
Holcomb
and see
out
if
of
you
the-
can
out
name
of
their
nowhere.
number.
Oh God! All right, here we go.
I'm not going to go super hard, but I'm also not going to go easy.
Okay.
Darnell Washington.
What number is Darnell Washington?
Mm-hmm.
80. No, I think he's 80.
Wow. JJ's good. It's 80.
Yeah.
Let me get one more for you here. Mason Rudolph.
He's not on the roster anymore. No, he is. He was. I'm assuming he's still wearing 2. I just haven't seen Mason Rudolph in like
All right, you're good.
a year and a half.
Gosh, this
Wow.
is
By the
a little
way,
bit gross.
Speaking of Mason Rudolph, Mason Rudolph played like he's how many games has he started in his career? Probably like 7.
They have
Yeah.
Denzel Mims.
Don't worry, Kitchen. It's now your turn, buddy. All right, let me get you. All right, wide receiver Chris Moore.
That's easy.
Oh, I think he's like. I think
I
he's
see
in
him
the
on the field
teens. I
today.
don't think he's. I don't think he's in the 80s. I think he's like 16 or something.
Close. 11.
Isn't that Traylon?
11.
Isn't Traylon 16?
Yeah, that's Traylon's number.
I'll give you
Shut
another
up, Pat.
shot. Kyle Phillips.
My boy.
I think I know Kyle Phillips.
Are you even a fan? What are you guys talking
Yeah,
about?
but I'm not like JJ
Can
like
Can I
stalking.
try?
Like
Can I
what's
guess?
like
Kitchen, just say all numbers look the
87.
same.
87. He's in the 80s.
Is Kyle Phillips? Is he 11?
No, we just think Chris
That
Moore
was,
is
we
lower.
literally
is he,
just
is
said
he
it was
80?
Chris
Is he
Moore.
is he 81?
Oh,
Teens.
Flipped. 18.
Oh, he's
Oh,
18.
he's 18.
Is he 18?
18. Oh, we
All
said
right.
Chris Moore was 11. I missed that.
Like I should get half credit for 81.
Yeah.
I'll give Kitchen one more for redemption. We're just going through all the wide receivers. Nick Westbrook-Akine.
No chance.
I know this one.
Oh, I know this one.
Damn, Kitchen doesn't know
My
ball.
my daughter's T-ball number.
14. 14.
Oh,
So
15.
close.
15. 15.
15.
Come on, Kitchen.
I thought you were the biggest Titans fan in like the
No,
world.
I like the Titans, but I'm not. I don't go like on message boards like JJ on like one of my burner accounts.
Kitchen, will you join my take that I've gotten lambasted for on this show, which is when we're watching the game, all numbers look the same? These guys have tried to shame me for not knowing who caught the ball, and my take is all
Well,
numbers look the same.
Kitchen, you don't have much
I
of a
don't-
leg to stand
I
on
don't
if you
look
say
at
no
number-
now.
I look at their bodies or their features. Like,
What are you
their
talking
bodies.
about?
Someone clip
Yeah.
that. I
Like,
look
I
at
know-
their
Look at
body.
their bodies.
like I know if it's Kyle Phillips or DeAndre Hopkins. Like
Not
I
the
know
back
which
of their
guy
bodies,
it is.
do
Yeah,
ya?
but if you saw them nude, you'd definitely know.
Oh, I know that body.
I don't see numbers. I look at their
Yeah.
bodies.
Exactly. I don't
The
see
jersey's
numbers.
actually gonna get much harder for Kitchen to identify.
or like Nick Westbrook-Akine. I know who that is because their nameplate on the back is just like blah, 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 blah. It's like all
that
just a whole
bowl,
bunch of
you know?
letters.
I just saw Kyle Phillips got a pass. I knew that because he's 18.
Wait. Did that just
What is happening on
Whoa,
Kitchen
what?
screen?
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like a heart. Oh my god!
What?
Fuck.
What just happened?
What camera do you are you
Was that
using?
you? That's your camera only.
What on?
Do that again.
Do some more.
It's shit.
Can you do like make like a big smiley face?
Oh my god.
Doesn't anything. Give a thumbs up.
told you I'm a positive
Do
guy.
a thumbs up. Do a
I'm a
thumbs up.
positive guy.
I bet
This is just what
I bet you it
happened.
does a thumbs up. Do a thumbs up.
Do you have any other tricks, or is it just hearts?
This is what,
That's
this is
not
what
doing a thumbs
he had this in his back pocket for when he was starting to get
He's just-
bullied by all four of us. He was like, I'm going to do the heart thing.
It's
Yeah.
funny that I wasn't even a heart thing. I was doing this.
He's
and
actually
when I
just
did
doing.
this.
He's making YouTube thumbnails right now.
Love when you to release them. I love the way you release the hearts.
Dude, Kitchen's the first StreamYard magician.
Doves. Fly away, little hearts.
How
When that happened, I was legit-
Kitchen.
I was as shocked as you guys were. This is why
Oh my
people.
God.
If
people
I'm
join
almost
the,
gullible enough to try it myself to see if
I
it
know,
works.
I know.
but I'm
I
not-
did. I did.
I don't want
Pete.
nothing to
I
happen.
couldn't get it. It's only him. I did it immediately. Oh god.
JJ, do you
I'm
want to
the-
try it?
No,
I'm the gullible
definitely
one.
not. Definitely not.
How
You
old
look-
First thing I did, I
You
fell
look like
for
a
it.
you look awesome when it works, and you look like a total moron when it doesn't.
Yeah,
That's not gonna
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
I don't feel great right now.
This
I know-
is if
I know
this
probably
is
doing it
to
Kitchen's
my neighbor
trick.
over here.
to distract us from not knowing any Titans numbers, it worked.
It worked.
It just so happens that this comes after Kitchen talking about the Titans' body type, like the body types these guys have. And he's like, "No, wait, I got this trick. I can make hearts."
JJ, I completely forgot that that's what we've been talking about.
Yes.
All right, Kitchen. I got one for you. You can totally redeem yourself. You ready? Will Levis.
Oh, 8.
Oh, he knew it. You missed that.
I only knew that because of the Marcus Mariota and all like the jersey memes and everything else. So,
Oh my god.
yeah.
And
Kitchen, have you ordered a
he
Levis
did
jersey
also.
yet or a shirt?
I might just for the bit.
For the
Like,
bit. For the
For the
bit.
bit.
What was your what was your stance whenever they drafted him?
Sure, why not? Like if he
Okay.
drops to the second round,
Okay.
sure, why not?
I didn't know
And
if you were like
he-
some truther whenever, like before the draft or anything.
No, I really wanted Anthony Richardson.
Gotcha.
And at that time, there were rumors that the Titans were going to trade up for either Richardson or he's going to fall to them, or they were going to trade up for Stroud. I was on board with both of those. And so Will Levis, when he basically fell like he did, I was like, okay, why not? Let's take a chance. But again, there was so much hate because he played at Kentucky and he wasn't very good at Kentucky, and Tennessee like beat them really bad. And so all these Homer Vol fans were like, he can't even beat the Vols. And I'm not kidding. Like it really spills over when your college team in the South
Oh yeah,
faces someone and they don't do well.
there it is.
Pat, love this call.
There's
buddy.
Highsmith.
Love it.
Pat crushed this.
We
We already
had
got
we wanted to Levis over. We talked a few different things. We considered the rushing because he rushed 4 real times with 2 kneel downs. And it was only 10.5 yards, I think. So that one was pretty interesting. But yeah, I steered to the sacks because of his college profile. I took a lot of sacks in college, and the Steelers have a good pass rush.
You had me when you said he's Willis level at taking sacks. I was like, all right, I'm in.
He's nowhere near Willis level.
in college, his sack rate was pretty damn close to Willis's.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, all you got to say is like this Titans offensive line is trash, and it's
Yeah,
going against JJ Watt.
But it does seem to be a trait of his that he's,
Which one?
is it gonna
TJ
Willis is translated about as
Steve what?
1 for 1 as it's gonna translate, but
Oh, come on. Give us that.
They got Joey Porter on DeAndre Hopkins.
And he just shoved him out of bounds. And
Yeah, like dude,
Yeah.
Joey Porter Jr. has been pretty legit so far.
that was a man play.
Wasn't he a late round pick too?
Well, he ended up they
round.
got him with the Claypool pick from Chicago. So the first, it was technically like a first rounder. What team? Miami lost their first rounder last year, right?
32nd
so-
overall?
Yeah, it's 32nd overall because they traded Chase Claypool for a second, and then that ended up being the first pick in the round.
wow.
Wow, I just got a news thing. Cole Holcomb suffered a knee injury, will not return. I think you may have successfully diagnosed that.
I think I nailed it
pretty
in
quick.
seconds.
I don't
Yeah.
know. This guy I trust said it was just a bone bruise.
Bone bruise.
I said that's better if it's not non-contact.
Bone bruise.
It could be a
Scope
bone
it out. All right. Someone just tagged me and the ship chasing, and it is a pretty. The screenshots for the thumbnails for this next Swolecast are going to be really good because it's the heart. The heart.
Oh, nice.
thumbnails.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be good.
I might have to search your name on
This is
Twitter
a-
to get that.
Oh
I mean,
my
that is
God.
so good.
Oh,
That is just
good.
so good. Just the delight that Kitchen has in his eyes.
That is fantastic.
And then just like that beside this picture of Tomlin, who looks like he's about to kill somebody.
Someone now should do a meme where it's the heart, and then put Will Levis getting sacked in between, and then the
JJ, what's your take on Pittsburgh? Like,
Oh man, purgatory for the next decade.
yeah, it's kind of what it seems like, and that's what I don't want from the Titans. I don't want them to either
Yeah.
be really bad or like this guy worked out. But
Here's the thing. I'm at the level of fandom that I'm at is that I just like fun things to happen. Like Kenny Pickett going to the Steelers, I loved because it was fun because I'm a Pitt grad and I like was there when they won the ACC a few years ago here in Charlotte, and like it's a fun story, and so that's cool. But yeah, I mean, like he's not good, and they're gonna be stuck in this position because the problem with the Steelers organization is they assume that they can just win every single year, and they're just in this perpetual like oh, we're never gonna rebuild kind of mentality, and it just means that first round playoff exits if they make it.
They've been throwing a lot of flags, and then
Calvin Austin?
That was Calvin Austin. He dropped it. They didn't call a really clear DPI on a slant pattern to
also, Jaylen Warren was wide open in the flat. Just
Speaking of Kenny Pickett, there was a fan at the stadium today. I saw on my Twitter feed. This is what I'm talking about. I just have like all these random.
That's a first down if he checks it down to Jaylen Warren there.
That's a pretty good ball downfield. What happened? Did it hit the defender's arm?
I don't know.
It wasn't like a terrible decision. The defender chasing the play had his back to the play the whole way. I think he got lucky and just stuck his hand up and knocked it away.
But there was a fan at the stadium with on the back of the jersey. It was 00 was the number, 00, and it said "Fire Canada" as the name. And I guess the reporter asked him like what it was all about, and he's like something along the lines of like, "That's how many points we score every game with Canada's are."
Hang on, real quick. I want to give Kitchen some redemption. What number does Fire Canada wear?
That was good. 00.
Where's the heart? Where's the heart?
Oh no, it disappeared.
There we go.
This is the dumbest party trick I've ever seen, and I love it.
What other stuff can you make? Is this your camera that does this?
There has to be something else other than
you like draw a star and get some stars.
Kitchen, what kind of camera is it? And I'll Google it. I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, that's what I was about to do too.
Do like jazz hands.
Except I'm Googling camera that makes hearts.
The camera. This is not on the camo setting. This is just my like
general vibes.
C920. Like this is just the C920. Just a basic Logitech. You're
JGFC's been yelling that it's an oval camera, but are you telling me this camera does one thing only and it does?
It's not a camera thing. It's a software thing. You guys just aren't making
something else.
Good enough hearts.
What software? What software is it?
I think it's StreamYard. I just don't think Gretch is making good hearts.
I'm making the same fucking hearts you're making.
I'm a fucking virus to Twitter.
Did you do another trick? There has to be another trick.
It just showed up.
I don't know. I'm Googling StreamYard hearts.
How did you find out you could do this?
It's because I was making an analogy, and then I did this, and then all of a sudden
you didn't stumble on this serendipitously. You have been researching all day for this debut tonight.
Go back and review the tape. This was a 100% stumble upon. And maybe I'm just blessed. Maybe it's just like StreamYard knows me.
They just gave it to your account?
Yes.
I just want you to do another trick because I know you can.
Well, if I could, I would. Like,
what would we call these? Like maybe emojis? I'm gonna find out more. I'm gonna find more.
Yeah, I'm googling hearts on. Okay, Mac
heart emojis on stream.
It's a Mac effect. Are you using a Mac?
Yes, I'm using a Mac. What kind of question is that?
So you're using a PC or a Mac?
I'm not using a Mac.
Oh yeah, Gretch, you're an Android guy. I forgot.
No, I'm not. I'm an iPhone guy, but I have a PC.
You and Pete.
I'm an Android guy.
Yeah, you're an Android guy?
Oh.
I have a PC. This is a PC. I have a Mac, but I got it's like a gaming PC that I use.
Is there like a cooler receiver than DeAndre Hopkins in this era? Like he might be the coolest. The guy's just like fun to watch. He's really good on the sideline.
Yeah.
Gosh, he's so good. And that ball.
I pretty hardcore faded him this year, so I don't. Every catch, I kind of die a little bit inside.
He's my second highest owned player
Is he?
Best ball.
Wow, Homer.
Now, ask who the first high. Ask who the
Deshaun
highest
Watson.
owned player. No, it's
Who is it?
Tannehill.
Oh,
Tannehill.
Because I was getting him free, and I'm like, oh, he's just free at the end.
Kitchen.
But, yeah.
I was writing. I'm for my newsletter tomorrow. The PO box. I was doing like a little halfway through the season review of how all my streamed drafts are doing, and so the team that you and Davis and I drafted on the marathon stream is currently advancing. But I went and looked at our quarterbacks, and it's Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill, and Matthew Stafford.
Oh God.
Oh no.
The team is like pretty nasty, other than that part.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It is amazing. It is amazing how like the quarterback injuries just sink
It's so
amazing
bad.
teams. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
People have been talking about that with the mid-round quarterbacks have just been brutal this year.
It's just been horrible. Injury.
Other than what, like Tua?
Yeah.
Tua
I don't.
was always a risk.
There's another best ball site on here I'm not going to mention because the show's sponsored by Underdog Fantasy, but I only drafted 2 teams in this best ball contest.
Yahoo? You're allowed to say that.
No, it rhymes with schmafters, but I'm not going to say what it is.
You can say Drafters Kitchen. It's allowed.
Okay, Drafters Fantasy. But this team is
He's gonna give out a promo code right then.
There it is. Oh, he threw the ball backwards. That's gonna be a sack fumble, right?
Let's hope.
What
Let's
was
hope they don't give me
what's that?
incomplete.
He tried to chuck the ball and he threw it backwards.
It looked like it got like
Exactly.
squeezed in the pile and just like.
It was a
fell
Hall of
out.
Fame play, Pete. You just wouldn't understand.
Pat, unbelievable call on the sacks, man.
Yes,
Love it.
Nailed it.
He gave it to him. They give it to him. This
What was that?
Yo, he definitely
That was
threw that.
egregious.
Yeah, that's either a,
This
But
was
does
worse
that
than
not
fumble
go
if
down
it's
as
not
a sack?
This was
It would
worse
go down
than
as a
that,
sack fumble,
that
I think.
Josh Allen. Remember the Josh Allen play in the playoffs against the Texans?
Yes.
Yes,
he just
God.
threw it right at him.
That like
Boom.
rent free in a
Underdog's
pocket
already
of my
counting it.
mind. Just
Yeah.
runs laps.
Gosh.
yeah, 3rd and 13. We got
It
that
was
one.
down because if you would have thrown it, they would have lost way more yardage. It would have been a negative fumble. They said he was down.
Oh man, they almost got him again.
The
What
only
is
thing
that
I wish,
D?
Pat, is that that one isn't good. I wish we had a ladder on Will Levis sacks because this isn't the end of him taking
I
sacks.
know.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we're 20 minutes into this
Oh!
game. We've already hit the over.
There's Westbrook Akeen. Look at that.
How do you
It's like
know? You only saw the number.
Saw that bod, baby.
I told you I didn't see the number. I saw the nameplate.
I saw that tight ass bod making the catch on the sidelines.
Anyways, back to my drafters team. It is cumulative scoring.
I forgot.
Five,
All right,
like,
there
yes.
it is.
I can't believe I
It's-
completely forgot this incredible yarn
cumulative
you're weaving right now. Continue.
Scoring. And I'm like in the top.
Hey, can you make some more hearts, please?
I'm hovering.
Wait, try
around in the
doing
top
deuces.
100.
Try doing deuces. No.
Your top 100 kitchen.
Yeah, I want to hear this now.
All right.
Yeah, I'm top 100, and so I'm clicking because it's cumulative. So like you're seeing the team, and some of these top teams are ones that don't have any quarterbacks, and there was this like sick sense of like satisfaction I got out of knowing like, haha, they're basically they're off the table. Like they've got 2 quarterbacks and neither are going to be playing for the rest of the year.
You're just
See ya.
done.
Yeah.
So you're tabbing through the teams and kind of, devilishly chuckling to yourself at their misfortune. Is that what you're saying?
100%. But I'm also admitting that it's sick in doing it.
It's sick.
You guys, we just one of our. I don't think we ever showed our 2-5.
Yeah,
pick.
we busted one of the 5 legs already with it.
We went Westbrook and Kinney lower. That was our last pick of everything that we threw in. But
I was worried about that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dumb.
why'd you suggest it?
Yeah, we split it up because I wanted to do a Traylon Burks plays more bet, and I thought that would come at the expense of Nick Westbrook-Akeen, but doesn't seem to be hitting. But we still have the out on the Allen Robinson one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah, the Allen Robinson one, we need him to be under a catch and the big dog to stay under 17.5.
Hey guys, don't judge me right now, okay?
Okay.
Wait, you
wow.
going full Silva?
Silva-esque.
This is my patrons have dubbed it Mo Alley Cox. This jug. It is awful when I'm on stream sometimes, and I totally forget that I'm on stream, and I just pull this giant jug out, and people are just like, "What in the world is going on with you?"
Just overcompensating.
No, but Silva was a trailblazer. He's normalized it for fantasy analysts
That's true.
across the land.
That's very true.
I've got this right here. This is just
you got
enormous.
to upgrade.
I
bro.
thought this was big, but yours is way big.
My wife though hates that, like, this noise. Because I carry this thing around the house.
The
right?
clang.
No, it's like the.
Oh,
it's like
that
a horror
noise.
movie.
Dude, that's creepy, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Do
be like
that one more
downstairs
time,
and-
closer to the mic.
All right. Hey, you ready?
We got some real ASMR freaks in the audience.
Ready, everyone?
Yeah, that's the good shit.
good
right
I'm
there.
envisioning a little kid on a swing in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
it's
it's like the Are You Afraid of the Dark intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you look out again and no one's there. Just the swing, just swinging by itself.
Yeah, it's actually
for the
just
rest of the
jug
show,
on
we're
the
actually
swing.
going to be just
Jug.
Foley artists. Yeah,
Chuck on the swing.
that's really good, JJ. You should do. You know how Denny does the tilt montage on your guys' podcast feed? You should do like a Foley artist montage where you're like, these are some random sounds I made around the house this week.
Just get really into ASMR.
Oh baby. Oh baby.
I love that you're 4 seconds
I
behind.
love it. It's
every
actually amazing. I'm a huge
really
fan
good.
of it.
At for a second, I was like, what does Kitchen know? Oh, what we knew a minute ago.
play.
No, but seriously, what are you guys watching on?
Phones.
TV.
First and goal from
They
the
made
nine.
me switch, Kitchen. I was on my computer before. And I
I'm
was
on my
playing.
phone now too.
Oh, then you guys got
Okay.
slow internet in Tennessee.
Was that a flash draft I saw up there, Kitchen?
It was DraftKings. I was looking at my over 201 passing yards for Will Levis. He's got 97 right now, so looking good.
Looking good.
I also have Titans plus 2.5 first half, so kind of need a touchdown here. Because I thought we were coming on second quarter, so I was like, I want a
Kitchen.
good second quarter sweat.
You're the
And
boy who
then-
cried wolf, though. No one believed you. You just told us that you had Najee Harris first touchdown,
Yeah.
and then you didn't.
I
place it,
did
and
that
no one
because
believed you.
JJ said that the Steelers scored, and I did not want to give him any satisfaction of being like, oh. I wanted to be like, yeah,
Ooh.
I knew they were going to score first. That's why I had Najee
Get
Harris
there.
score first.
We are starting Levis boys in our team with Leone. We need a Levis TD
That's
here.
true.
But
In
that'd
our
be
highest
nice.
stake league. Thank you for
Yeah.
getting our eyes back on the prize here.
I'm in a
Levis
dynasty.
and Okonkwo, who was running in the flat there. I thought we might have a little stack because we're at By Mageddon. We have Purdy.
I was gonna say, who's your
Ayuk.
quarterback?
We have Purdy, Ayuk, CMC, and Gibbs and Laporta from the Lions. All 5 of those guys are starters.
Then we had Stafford and Watson. We were carrying 3 quarterbacks, and then went into this week with no quarterbacks that we could start. So we dropped
All because
Stafford.
ChatGPT made no buys last week. So
It's
shout
so
out
bad.
ChatGPT for that.
Um,
Big dog gets
Oh man,
it.
you get in?
Dude, he's
Oh,
big.
yeah.
No,
Touchdown.
I'm really excited for
Oh,
Kitchen
yeah.
to celebrate in a bit here.
The Kitchen, you are
Jeez.
going to be so thrilled in about
You're
2.5
gonna like
minutes.
watching
You're
this in a
gonna
minute.
love this.
Who's the worst player you guys are using?
Touchdown!
We've already moved on.
JJ, we're starting Kendra Miller at running back.
Oh my God,
That's
That's-
rough.
Yeah.
that's
That's
the thing
rough,
we're
man.
doing.
That's
That
gotta
is
be
the thing we're doing.
the worst. I think
Levis
yeah.
and Kendra.
my worst this week is actually, I think he's kind of a sleeper this week, is probably like Jonathan Mingo.
Yeah, that
That's-
has some legs.
As like a
Yeah.
like you could see it happening.
I
kind of-
said that on the
Indianapolis has been
Swolecast.
bad.
I said that on the Swolecast. He was in 99% of the team's
he played.
snaps.
Yeah, he's playing a lot.
He's playing a lot.
The Kendra Miller play, to be fair, we had a long discussion about whether we were playing Kendra Miller, aka punting, or trying to add 5 points because there's nothing on the waiver
Right.
wire.
And like you're
either.
taking the L anyway, right?
We're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like taking the L, and then it was like we can add Shakir, who is an upgrade on like Wandale, and it's like, well, Shakir over Wandale might be more than nothing, and like the Darrington Evans versus Kendra might just be like rearranging the chairs. Like
and this is that same team I just mentioned. All the buys, our whole bench
Yeah.
is on buy. We
Right,
don't have
right.
flexibility. Like,
Yeah.
it is
I-
what it is.
so like we're starting
I dropped
Shakir. We got
Antonio-
Shakir, right?
I dropped
We got
Antonio
Shakir. We're
Gibson.
starting him. Yeah.
Antonio Gibson, and I dropped Tank Bigsby in another league. Like, part of me dies whenever I have to draft these guys because these were the supposed league winners. I know you guys do like a lot of fluff on the show and it's just entertainment and haha, but if we could get serious for a second, what are we thinking about like these league winner late round running back 0 RB guys that just have not produced?
What? Name some.
Tank
I just
Bigsby.
did. Tank Bigsby.
Yeah, man.
Antonio Gibson.
Fantasy Twitter fell for Tank Bigsby, hook, line, and
We
sinker.
did. We fell.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything
goal
bad.
line carries in preseason.
I was
we
laughing.
fall?
I was like, "Oh, all these Tank Bigsby slappers."
Yeah,
and I
well,
was
I
looking
did.
at my exposures the other day. He's like my 9th highest draft.
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of
Playing
Bigsby.
a Tank Bigsby.
I got a
Yeah.
lot of Bigsby.
Yeah.
We don't have him in any high stakes stuff, guys, and we had
I know,
a
just
ton of
stayed
ETN.
in high stakes. Yeah.
But honestly, in
Yeah.
best ball, like who has worked out aside from Miami running backs?
I do think if you're trying to
All right,
lead
let's
us to
pull up
this,
ADP.
congratulations. But Tajay Spears, I think still has some
Yeah,
legs.
sure.
Jerome
And I-
Ford.
Even though he's been
Jerome
hurt.
Ford would be one.
There's a
Kyron
lot
Williams
more
hit.
than that.
No,
Yeah.
that's it.
I'm pulling
That's
up ADP.
No, yeah, there's so many more, and the early round running backs haven't really hit either. The opposite
No running
point
back
of-
is good.
Zach Moss,
No running back.
Zach
Reese
Moss
had
has
us
been-
draft
No
Zach
one was
Moss on
drafting.
I got
No one was
30%
Reese
drafting.
had me
exposure
on
to
the
Zach
marathon
Moss.
stream drafts. Zach Moss.
Kyron Williams,
Yeah.
He's
Kyron.
been a massive
Cuba?
hit.
Yes.
Iron work.
Chuba
Johnson?
literally just took over a starting job in like 7 weeks. That was amazing.
if you go look at the current
Foreman?
point scoring, Mostert's 3, Moss
Mostert?
is 4, Alvin Kamara 7.
Yeah,
He was
Mostert.
really cheap.
Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards just scored 3
Gus is
touchdowns.
good.
Yeah. Kyron's 8. Like, it's all late round picks. A-Chain's still
I love how-
12.
Out of 32, you guys have mentioned like 3, and like that is
Yeah, it's a low
supposed to
hit
be-
rate. It's a low hit rate on him. What
3?
are we supposed to do?
Kitchen,
Not
who are
draft
all
anyone?
the other players at other positions who have hit after round 14?
Who are the early running backs that are outscoring these
Puka?
guys?
Puka?
No.
Okay,
Puka?
keep going. Yeah.
Please
2-2?
continue. Not even really. You got a couple-
Tutu had like 1.5 good weeks.
Kincaid?
He was an 11th round pick.
Liam was drafting Kincaid in the
He's also
7th
had
round.
just on 2 good
Yeah.
games so far.
That's perfect. Did you mean Laporta?
He's already into the 11th
Yeah,
round.
yeah.
Laporta? I love one of my favorite things about Gretch is how he gets offended at just like a question. It's just like really a question. Like, what are we doing?
I'm not actually offended. I just come across
Yeah.
offended.
No one just we didn't
I
understand
feel
your
that. I have the
question,
same
I think
reaction to
was the-
stuff too. People think that I'm way more worked up than I actually
Right.
am with stuff.
No, but you do get worked up, JJ. We've seen your Twitter.
No, he doesn't.
One of them's kitchen.
So, God, now I'm gonna get worked up. Let's go. My Steelers are losing.
JJ already told us most of the time he'll ignore the trolls, but if he has like a nice free afternoon,
That's right.
he's like,
Oh, yeah.
all right, I got time for
Got
this.
about
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Friday. Hey, watch out for me on Friday afternoons. Those are the times that I'm usually freed up a little bit to kind of go in.
Crack a little IPA,
Yeah, just kind of
mix it
sit
up and
back and
mentions.
watch those trolls. Just die on the inside.
What is your X maintenance thing? Do you mute people? Do you block people? Do you just let all the mentions flood in? Because you get a shit ton.
So I've gone from I started doing this, like Kitchen was talking about. We've been doing this for like over a decade now, and so
Here we go.
there's Diontae. Was that Diontae?
Let's go, buddy.
Yeah,
It was, yeah.
it's good. It's good.
I went from I started doing this when I was like 24, right? And so I go through my 20s, and like everyone knows that when you're in your 20s, it's just you don't really understand what's going on, and you're just kind of reacting to things probably in the not the best way. You're probably not mature enough to be handling what you're handling and stuff. And so I don't really like the way that I would handle things on Twitter then. Now the way that I handle things, I mute a lot. I don't block because I don't like giving people the satisfaction with the block, right?
Yeah.
And so I mute a lot of people.
Glorious.
But my
Yeah.
real move,
Yeah.
you want to know my actual move is now, is that when someone trolls me and it's from like a non-anonymous account, like it's just like they got a picture of their family or something in their little banner on Twitter, I'll look at their profile and I'll give them a compliment based on that banner, like cute kids or something like that, just because they're just being these like they're saying like, I want you to die because you don't like Arthur Smith. And then I'm just like, hey, really think your kid's cute, like your Halloween costume, something like that, just to end
James,
the
like I run a background check on them and be like, how are things going on? 34 Grover
This is
Lane?
gonna-
Property search
should be pretty
and
dark.
get their address.
How's your job at the law firm, buddy?
JJ, have I ever told you that? So when I got on Twitter in 2009, so I was on Twitter very early, but I ended up way back when I first started getting into fantasy football, I made a burner account because I was like one of those where I was like even too ashamed on my main account to like ask
comedy
football
hour.
questions.
Yeah, like the comedy hour and
Underscore
stuff,
Pete.
right?
No, this is way before even that. This is like 2010, 2011. I would write you questions on Twitter, like just the classic start sit, like way back in the day when I would, like this would have
be like,
legit been
like,
2010,
nice credit score,
2011. Yeah, I was like, who do I start of these two? Like just for my burner, just to you. Way back then, I would ask you those fantasy questions. You were like the first guy I went to.
Did I respond and stuff? Like, was it a bad
you were
experience?
Like, you have a beautiful girlfriend, and I was like,
you're gonna have a beautiful daughter one day.
No, you did. You responded. Yeah.
Like what was really toxic back in the day was FanDuel and Draft Street chat. This was like before Twitter fantasy was really a thing. And my arch nemesis on the Draft Street chat streets was Drew. And he was
like legit
dink. He was such a jerk. And like he will tell you now that he was like a big jerk back then. Kind of like, in your 20s and like oh, it was the worst because you'd be like complaining about something and he'd be like, he would just be so dismissive and act like you were such an idiot.
Who's offended now, Soccer Dave? Who's offended now?
My thing is,
I used this in for a long time.
I used to just take.
No, I've told like Drew knows he's apologized.
I would take things so personally all the time back then. Like it was rough. Because you're like,
me too.
You're like gaining a following, and like you're not really ready to be handling that, and like you take things so personally whenever someone trashes a take that you had and stuff like that, and you feel like you got to defend everything.
Yeah,
and then eventually you're just like, I know that I'm doing decent work, so you can.
That's something I wanted to go back to the fantasy receipts thing on, and I think this is a learned thing for all of us. But one of the reasons the fantasy receipts is a little different than old takes exposed is old takes exposed are just like takes, like who cares. But the fantasy receipts thing, like there's a lot of people trying to make it in fantasy prediction specifically. And there is like so much competition. And there are so many analysts that there is pressure to be perfect, to like never miss. Right. And no one really wants to admit their mistakes. And so I think there's a little bit of a gray area with the fantasy receipts one where,
I think it's fine to like hold people accountable to, but like we don't, I can't imagine like, 6 months or whatever going like, what this site needs? An account that's just a real dickhead to everyone. Like, you don't need that at all.
Yeah,
the
I mean, part of the. Go ahead,
Paul Davis.
I was just gonna say, so it makes me think of one of the greatest.
Actually gotten a lot more positive, I would say, lately.
One of the greatest Twitter accounts of all time, and rest in peace, Harris Whittles, who invented the humble brag, and that account would just retweet humble brags. There was no editorializing. People would tag him in celebrities who would do the humble brag. It was like the most brilliant thing. And cold takes exposed kind of did, or freezing takes exposed did that kind of too, right? He just retweets it. No editorializing. It's the editorializing and the trying to emphatically dunk and hang on the rim after. That's the problem. Like you just retweet it without any editorializing and it's fine. And it's funny in that case.
Part of the problem though, too, is that the five of us aren't really exposed to like like think about it, like 10 years ago, like 5 years ago, when we're all getting to know each other and like we're all on Twitter and stuff. And we would probably have back and forths about a player or whatever. Like I remember going like literal, like 48 hours straight arguing about Rashad Jennings or something, right? Like just the most, just
Brett and I
battles.
still do this occasionally, but
Yeah, these but like we all sort of like I don't know if it's age or if it's just like we all were able to like sort of solidify what we're doing like in the space.
Well, we do it in
where we are.
Discord now, so no one can see.
yeah, we do
that's
it in
true,
Discord.
too.
Yeah,
That's true too. But like
because
but, like,
this is like, yeah, I definitely stopped doing that.
what I'm saying is though is that like we're not really exposed to like more as we were before, more of like up and coming fantasy analysts and stuff like that, and like how they're handling their business, right? And so
Right.
I think going on in the fantasy space, and of course we see like the clickbaity stuff that goes around that all of us probably despise and whatnot, and we're fine with that getting exposed. But like I think that part of the problem is that the fantasy industry in general, like up and coming folks, are very, very arrogant and obnoxious on Twitter. And then that just gives a bad name to all these fantasy analysts. And then therefore, whenever like Fantasy Receipts is creating this account because fantasy analysts can't admit when they're wrong and stuff like that. But it's really just like this cluster of people that really can't admit when they're wrong. And they just like double down on bad takes. And then it just sort of starts this like horrible cycle.
What were you
that's
the
the
most
problem with
wrong
it.
about, JJ?
In my career?
No. Jeez, we don't have time for that. Like just this summer.
Oh, this year?
Yeah.
I didn't draft
Kitchen
enough.
going for blood.
Just
No, this year
subtle
is
dagger.
probably. I think that like I've had a decent year from like a player take perspective and stuff, but I didn't get enough Alvin Kamara. Like that was sort of
yeah,
a
me
blind
too.
spot for
That
me
was a
this
big
year.
L.
Was I just
Yeah.
and I did the same thing with Hopkins last year. Like I apparently have this blind spot for these guys who are suspended and older, and just assuming that there's a dip that's going to happen, and I just missed on it. So I think Kamara is probably the one for me.
Pete?
My biggest whiff.
Yeah.
Oh, God, you're
Which
gonna do
direction?
all
I
this?
can give you one on a guy
Yeah.
drafted or a guy faded. Which one do you want?
Either.
I mean, I have 1 share of Adam Thielen. I have like 5 shares of Kamara. My biggest, I mean, I have so much Quentin Johnston. As far as like guys in early rounds, that's the one that's probably hurting the most, but it's trending in the right direction. My 2 most drafted guys are outside of JSN are Rashad Penny and Kendre Miller, who have done nothing. So
That has to be mine. I was pounding the table for Penny the whole fucking summer.
Yeah.
Penny,
Another guy, Gretch. Another guy did not work out. Late round running back.
Yeah, and the thing about that, Penny and Harris, to JJ's point about like having a blind spot, I realized my blind spot there, him and Damian Harris, they started to slide, and I just decided it didn't matter for their ceilings. They're talented players and good offenses, and this is the wrong reason for them to be sliding, and I just kept drafting them at cheaper prices. But you have to read the market a little bit. Like you have to respect the market. It's like you're IKBing when you're doing that, and I don't know that I was intentionally trying to, but I did a jump the shark thing. I quoted Leone with Damian Harris at one point. I was like, why is he falling this much? But there was a reason for it, right?
I
Like the
will
Latavius
say,
Murray stuff had
to,
legs.
like to do the Cope thing too. Like when you think about, there were the 3 super ambiguous backfields, right? The Bears, the Dolphins, and the Saints, who all had their running backs going after like pick 100, and you basically taking any the Bears backs. Yeah, like in the cheaper ones there. Is this a Pickens touchdown here?
No, it was on Allen Robinson, but he's
Under.
Incomplete.
Incomplete. But
and that
the
was
point I gonna
Kitchens
say-
plus 2.5 was about to get wasted there on 4th and goal.
No, they're about to run down the field anyway.
Kamara was consistently the most expensive the entire offseason of the Saints too. So I was just content to play it through the cheapest one. And that's why I have a shit ton of Deontay Foreman too, because I was just playing it through the cheapest.
Me too.
Bears back, and I have a ton of Jeff Wilson as well. So I just kept playing it through the cheapest ones.
One of my biggest misses is Mostert, because I was overweight A chain, and I think about even with Wilson, but I was often like, why would I take Mostert when I can just wait and take Wilson? It's like,
no, I'm in the same boat, and it sucks. So like, it wasn't until like I had a few like managed league drafts like after the Jeff Wilson news broke, and I forced the issue with Mostert just to get some exposure.
I have some high stakes best ball drafts. I did the same thing. I was like, I cannot have this.
Yeah, right. That one to me though, like I've had people, I get every week whenever I ask for like mailbag questions and stuff. the questions are always like a retro, like I don't really like looking back on the season until the season's over, right? Like just because it's not really like helping, like in this environment, it's whatever because we're just shooting the shit. But like it's not really like I just want to help people with their fantasy rosters and like help in the given week what we can control right now. We'll get to all of the like retroactive and retrospective stuff after the season's over, right? But I get questions all the time about, hey, what do you think is going on with this strategy and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, I haven't collected the data and analyzed it, so I'm not really going to answer that. But one of the things was, why was Raheem Mostert such a massive miss in the fantasy space this year? Because I don't know about you. I don't remember anyone like pounding the table for Raheem Mostert, right? But I think like, because I was really into Devon Achane and like, I think others were too. But I think the reason for Mostert is literally because the Jeff Wilson injury hit in early September. Like we didn't realize that it was that significant of an injury. And I don't think that we would see the outcome that we're seeing right now if Jeff Wilson would have played week 1. Like I truly don't think it would have been.
Or if Achane stayed healthy,
stayed healthy. Yeah.
Was really the answer there.
But that's, I mean, you could say that for a lot of people. Like
right.
My strategy was trying to get a Dolphins running back or a Bears running back. One of those strategies worked. One of those clearly did not.
Sure. Yeah. This is
Bears running back is not a bad place to be invested, to be honest. Like you had some Herbert weeks, you've got some.
Yeah, tell that when Darrington Evans scores a rando touchdown, they're given.
Well, okay,
but same thing. I was just going to say about Mostert. If it's an ambiguous backfield and 2 of the 3 get hurt, the third one is in a good spot, and it's the same thing that happened with Diontae Foreman. The reason Evans scored is the other 2 were out. They still had a backup, right? Like Foreman is playing as the lead, and then they're down to their 4th back is playing as the number 2 in the 2-minute drill, and he scores a TD.
I also think it's a little bit different because if we had the information about Jeff Wilson and we knew that he was going to be put on IR, Mostert would have been going 4 or 5 rounds earlier than he was, right?
What is it about NFL coaches? Like McDaniel is so fun. He's got a good personality. He's designed a great offense, but he's just like a total motherfucker when it comes to injuries.
I know. Like
every coach has to have something.
I don't remember a year ever where, and I know Denny has that. I think it was Denny who has that bit where a low ankle sprain just gets higher and higher on the player's body.
That's my favorite bit, Denny.
That's such a good bit, right?
It's so true. Every time in Trump's voice. When Denny does that, I read it in my head as Trump's voice. I don't know why.
But like, I don't remember a season where like an injury happens on a Sunday and then you're just waiting for some injury news on Monday and it's like some casual like, he tweaked his ankle a little bit. He's going to be fine. And then literally a day later, he's on IR. Like it's happened like 4 or 5 times this year.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being like that at all historically. It's been really
I think it's the IR going to 4 weeks, which has been relatively recent, and then going to 17 games. And I think teams are just doing this precautionary. I said this with Jefferson right when he went on IR. We talked about it on Stealing Bananas a little bit today. There's a couple other examples, but I think teams are just like, look, we got 17 games. We're just going to protect you from yourself a little bit. We're going to put you on the shelf for 4 weeks. Go get healthy.
Right. And even though it's like a 2-week injury or something, and it's like, they could easily just work it out.
I remember Eckler and Barkley have both like returned from high ankle sprains and handled huge workloads after going to IR. So maybe it's good.
Yeah.
Well, I remember, Pat, I think I remember talking about this with you on some of our Best Ball Breakfast shows where, I was tending to always play it through the cheaper backfield, which is why I had so much Charbonnet and Rashad Penny. And I remember having the conversation with you on one of those shows where I was like, I have to force myself to take more Kenneth Walker and DeAndre Swift because I love both of those dudes, but the price was so different that it was really comfy to just pass on them and grab the later back. And yet when you like the backfield, in the same way, I'm glad that I got on a lot of Achane, right? Even though I love the prices on Mostert and Wilson, it's like, I also still want some Achane because if I'm directionally accurate that this backfield bet is a smash, you got to have some of the other part of the backfield.
100%.
Yeah. I didn't do enough of that. I took a lot of Mostert and Jeff Wilson. I don't have a lot of Achane.
Jeff Wilson could be the guy, though.
He could be
the guy.
He could. That's the funny thing about all this stuff, right? Like 2 weeks ago, I would have been on here being like, Fournette. I don't know what I was thinking. Clearly, he just wanted to play Call of Duty. And then he signs, and now it's like, oh, sick.
Did you see his tweet today? Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's awesome. Buffalo. He's so awesome.
Yeah, it's
cool. That tweet was cracking me up because it was juxtaposed to all of the photos where he cut his football pants at practice. He's wearing essentially like a fucking Speedo. I know. Like, no shit, you think it's cold. You cut your pants down to a
Fournette is like 10 steps ahead.
The jean shorts thing.
His thighs are almost as big as mine.
They're mad.
Dude,
There's a
Kyle
million
Phillips just
quarterback
made
injuries.
a sick catch, JJ.
Yeah, we saw.
We saw
We
it. It was
saw
like
that body from a mile.
I was
away.
a Kyle Phillips guy coming out.
Me too.
Yeah.
The slate is so bad this week. There's so many quarterback injuries. We all need a little something in our lives, football wise. And then Leonard Fournette shows up with the quad training camp pick. Like it's like he's doing what people do in August, but in November.
Yeah,
in Buffalo, steal the news cycle.
Fucking
genius.
He like rolls up in like a Batmobile or whatever they do at training camps and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah. He's doing all of that.
Yeah.
It's like a little dose of summer. It's like an 80-degree day in the middle of
video
November.
games.
And
Kyle Phillips is
Kyle
just
Phillips.
eating right
Balling.
Yo, my best ball dynasty rosters are
Nice.
right now.
Yes.
Feeling it.
Yeah.
Now
Dude.
you're kitchen on a Swolecast episode referencing your best ball dynasty roster. Kitchen, are you doing a flash draft over there? You're going full Matic on us.
That was the yes laugh.
Yes,
What a
yes,
giggle.
yes.
Chris Jimino posted a meme. I think he even maybe even created it, but it was in our little projections channel for Roto Grinders. But it's of the meme of the girls like whispering to each other, and one of them's like, "I heard Lenny's going to be the hurry up back in Buffalo," and like it is funny how if you have like a few shares of Leonard Fournette or whatever, you start envisioning like these perfect scenarios where they're just going to blow up.
Yeah.
I mean, if James Cook gets injured, like he's like a top 10 back the rest of the season pretty easily. Like
It's crazy.
the Leonard Fournette and Kareem Hunt slap he's kind of getting there is just so tilting to me.
No, that was always the plan.
I
Now, if
have
you say
No,
the
it-
big
you-
bag of
I mean,
Leonard
it's
Fournette
the
and
suck
Bestball.
out- It's the biggest suck out of all suck out.
I'll take it.
that was the whole thesis behind the play is that they were going to find a good spot after the season started.
This is why it wasn't the thesis of the play, Kitchen, because if someone allowed you, the best ball gods allowed you to cash out, and they're like, "You change all these shares for a random player right now," you would have cashed out on the Leonard Fournette shares 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Who
Yeah,
was
that's
that?
true. I would have. You
would have
right.
That's not how
out.
best ball works.
Also,
that's not how best
Kitchen,
ball works.
I want to be clear. Kitchen was. I want to be. How does late round running backs work? Because what you just described is that there's going to be openings on good offenses because of injuries. Like the reason Leonard Fournette signed is because Damian Harris got hurt and they needed depth. This is the late round running back thing. You said none of these guys are hitting. You can't have both sides of this.
I'm just saying, like the guys that we thought were going to hit have not hit. Maybe the guys who I thought Antonio Gibson. Gainwell.
Antonio Gibson.
Do it
Did it
again.
do
Yeah, I did it.
Did it. Do it again.
You got to do it again.
Come on,
Oh shoot!
Oh, you had
Damn.
two of them.
We
a
had
minute
it.
ago.
We
Kitchen.
had it.
Oh. Did anyone clip that? Oh, there we go.
Uh, hey, guy, Kitchen, get one for the large screen here.
I think you got to hold it.
Wait, do double thumbs up. Do double thumbs up. Turn him to the camera.
How did you unlock
I'm not
that?
going to do it.
Looks like he's like auditioning. He's like
He unlocked the fireworks.
Oh my god!
He unlocked the fireworks.
what in the world is
Incredible.
Wow.
I think I just won. I
Oh
think
my
I just won. I don't know what I won, but I
Holy
think I
shit.
just won.
We should do the
Do
giveaway.
that ever again. Incredible.
What a moment!
Oh my god.
That was amazing.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
we
Yeah.
should probably just shut down the stream. It doesn't get better.
That's it.
Like, never do the show again.
Titans
All right,
first
we
half,
got to go in
baby.
we got to go in the pick'em lab here, guys.
Oh, that's right. We got to make some
see what's
pick'ems.
available.
You guys can help us out. You guys know ball, especially
All
Kitchen. Kitchen, what's going to happen with the Titans the second
We
half?
got to look at the
Can we get more sacks? More of that sweet sack line?
Yeah,
I
what do
think
we
I think
They
you go
pulled it.
over Derrick Henry rushing yards.
I kind of like the
quarter.
Levis passing at this point, even though it's gone up. Like he already has 150 at half. I think the Steelers get back in this, right?
I don't know. Sweating
Only a
100
3-point
Levis
game.
passing yards feels
Yeah.
agonizing.
He's chucking it again, though. Yeah, you're right. It does feel agonizing. How does Burks?
Dude, they dropped the Burks line to 8.5.
Oh God, we got to play that,
I'm
right?
gonna look at some.
Dude,
he
the
running
Nick
routes?
Westbrook Akide is a half yard.
Burks doesn't have a target. Has he?
No.
Like, where's the Nathan Yonke tweet? We need the Burks.
we need
the
Yonke
Burks
tweets
routes.
for
Technology, as people in Davis's or in JJ's mentions tell them, they don't have the technology to let us know how many routes someone's run.
Yeah.
Burks is second on the wide receivers in snaps. He's got 23 snaps out of 39 plays, only behind
Right.
Newt.
He hasn't seen a target though, right?
Yeah, but 8.5 yards.
No.
for the
I
second-
agree. No. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
what's
Yeah, I'm
Chig
into
at?
it. If he's out there.
What's
Dude,
Chig
I
at?
like this call from our guy, John Warner. Jaylen Warren,
Yeah.
higher
Yeah.
receiving, rushing.
Yeah,
I like it.
Warren's smashing right now.
He's
We
been
like
he's
that.
been crushing. Yeah.
Chig played 30 of 39 plays. I feel like
Shig
one
is
pass
at
could get him
9.5 receiving yards.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good
I
one.
like that. Yeah, let's hit that. Tyjae Spears was 20.5 rushing. He's already got 12. He only needs 8.5 more rushing yards. It does feel like
We could do the,
The big
trailer
dog
one.
is
I mean,
rolling.
guys who are out there. Two guys who are out there.
They just lowered Traylon to 7.
oh, they're daring us.
Like, God,
Do
Newbie's
it.
daring us over there.
just do it.
Do it. Fire the three-way. We just got to get
So,
one catch.
He's
from
got
Conklin.
one catch.
You guys wanna fire this one 3-way here?
Yeah.
I feel like
Let's
if
do
you're doing game script and you go Chig and Traylon Burks over,
And you toss in Levis.
well, I'd go on the opposite side. I guess Jaylen Warren's going to be that guy, but
Those are so low you don't have to add Levis because they're 10 yards each.
It's
you
one
know?
catch.
Just one
yeah.
catch, yeah.
All right, I added that as a 3. Let's see.
Kenny Pickett 0.5 passing TDs. Can he throw a
Single
touchdown? They're
That one we
trailing.
definitely
It's
want to
gonna be
stack.
Deontay.
Deontay
It's gonna happen
needs
tonight.
30,
I agree.
33 yards.
You want to free roll the rushing?
What's Allen Robinson's?
15.5. He's at 10. So this is literally what we have right now.
He's only run-
It's the same. It's interesting.
He's run only 2 fewer routes than Diontae and 1 fewer than Pickens.
Yeah.
We
I kinda-
thought about it because we knew he was gonna be out there a lot, but it's Allen Robinson.
Yeah, he's
What do you guys think about this one? I like our guy Clay here. Spears receiving. If they get in a negative game script,
Yeah.
he's at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like that.
Should we get one more for a 5-leg?
I think
here?
I would do the Pickett
Oh!
passing TD because what is happening?
Whoa!
Do you see that?
What is going on right now?
Pete, you're putting them in a negative game script means the Steelers have to score in the third quarter because they're down 3 points right
You
now.
want
So
Pickett passing TD?
I think that makes
Yeah.
sense, right?
Yeah, unless there's I agree directionally with what you're saying, but do we like anything like
What is
passing yards?
there any kind of Levis
Pass yards
over?
if we're doing all these receiving for 3 different
So
running
Levis
backs.
we would need, it's down to, did this drop big time? Or no, yeah, it's still 100. We need 100 passing yards from
But
Levis.
it's
to get
probably not right to do 3 different guys.
without Levis.
Yeah, I would say
Or
Levis.
I would just say 3 of them at all that aren't Hopkins. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, what if
We're-
we what
I
if
mean,
we
one
spin
off
this
target.
off? Let's do one with Levis just to correlate this, right? Like
Yeah,
if we're
yeah,
getting
yeah.
there with Burks, Chig.
You're not sharing anymore, Pete.
What's up? Oh, my bad.
yeah,
Sorry.
Sharon. Soccer Dave's looking up his effects now.
So here's one that is correlating the with those 3 Titans in a negative game script, which I do like that idea.
Yeah.
And then, but do you want to do one without like Levis in one of these and tilt it to Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, if we're gonna say negative script for like the Tyjae Spears receiving, or some of the trail script stuff, in general that we need the Steelers to score. So the Kenny Pickett 0.5 passing TD I like. Because they're down. The Titans just went up 13-10 before half. The Steelers got to score.
Right.
Which one, if we put in a Pickett TD, which one do you want to pull of like Burks or Chig probably?
We could pull the Burks and Chig and do a Henry over plus the Pickett.
And pull Levis.
I'm playing a different. And pull Levis, yeah. Maybe we.
It's Levis. Yeah, like that's a 3.
Oh, pull the Spears if we're doing this too.
Well, Spears is one of my favorite numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, let's keep Spears. I like this as a 3, unless you want to keep.
Want to do this as a 3?
Yeah,
I like it. You can do more than 50 probably because we got.
Let's get the Steelers getting out ahead, and let's get Spears catching coming back. That's gonna hit. That one's a good one.
Do you want to
do
use
a couple
this
fives
as a
off this?
4-3 for a 5? Yeah, and then we'll be
we could
2 4-3s. So on the Warren, Spears, Pickett, TD. What other ones did you guys like here? If we have a Pickett, TD,
all the Chig and Burks and Levis overs that you were already doing all make sense.
Mix in.
Yeah.
Which one do we like the most of the Burks and the Chig?
I don't even know. I wish I could say Burks. He's ran a lot of routes and not got a target.
I just think if we're doing a Pickett passing TD, we should probably have one pass catching one here. Did they pull the Pickett stuff? Or Pickens? I don't know.
Pickens would be good. Where's Pickens?
He's gone. Yeah.
Oh, there he is. No,
wait.
Scroll down.
Yeah, he's low.
Oh, you're right. Oh,
yeah.
You want to go higher than that?
There it is. Yeah.
Let's correlate that. And then what is the 5th we want to do here? So, George Pickens, 24.5.
Just do another. We're saying Titans kind of come back and pass a little bit.
Pick a Chig or Burks.
Yeah.
Chig's 9.5 or Burks 7.5.
I think we
got one for Burks.
Yeah, it's Burks for the bet.
We think Traylon Burks is getting a catch.
All right, let's do Burks.
He didn't catch a pass all last week. He's got it this week. He can't go back-to-back shutouts, right?
All right.
Let's do it.
All right, we're locking this in.
We honestly could just do this again and also do Chig, given what we had budgeted for halftime.
Yeah.
I'm having a beer.
I'm gonna grab a beer too.
How many receiving yards does Pickens have?
2.
I'm looking at another site and it's got Pickens versus Burks.
Oh God.
Pickens is minus 450. Burks is plus 290.
What are you drinking, Pete?
Got a little tequila going. How about you? Tea?
Some chamomile tea. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. God. Well, I didn't know if you were disguising because it definitely looks like a tea mug.
Yeah.
Nice. JJ is such a tea guy these days. Puts a little hint of lavender.
I gave up coffee a few years ago, man. I don't drink. I don't consume.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that.
I remember you told everybody about it multiple times.
Yeah, it's like doing CrossFit. You got to let everyone know that that I'm. That's why I say it on Living the Stream all the time as a joke. Whenever we get questions, like I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm dairy and gluten free now. I don't eat dairy and gluten. And no, I did the coffee thing because it was just messing with me, and I just don't consume caffeine anymore.
Yeah.
Life without caffeine.
Do you still
is
do
not
beer
hard.
at all or no?
I love coffee.
Do a lot of claws and I can still do I'll do vodkas and stuff, but more clear. No, I mean like mixed. I'm not just drinking it straight.
No, to get healthy, just drink straight vodka.
Yeah, just drink straight vodka.
Dairy free, but
I also drink a lot less than I used to be fair.
JJ, spend a day in my mentions and you'll start drinking straight vodka.
you guys don't understand. You don't get it.
No,
dairy and gluten free, bro.
I've been the Los Dos tequila, and I'm not on Jeremy's payroll for it, but the no additives, I seriously never have a hangover with it. It sounds like a bit. It sounds like, some magic elixir, but it's very nice to sip on and you don't have to deal with the hangover ramifications.
Right when you said no dairy, no gluten, I was biting into a cheese Danish.
That's literally there's like yesterday we went to my daughter's playing my daughter's playing t-ball and we went to like a pizza like end of season pizza party kind of thing. They did like fall ball and they had pizza and like I realized that pizza is like the one thing that I just would get destroyed by if I were to consume pizza at this point.
Right.
And I got like a local like dairy free and free pizza joint that I can grab stuff at.
There you
Tastes
go.
pretty good.
JJ, since you're on our show, just wanted to ask you a little industry.
What do you mean by
question.
our kitchen? Just or question.
Just let him have it.
Well,
Industry-
just our from a tree forest perspective.
Yeah, for sure. Continue.
If I could continue. So, how is the podcast going?
My podcast?
Like like how is life? How's life since like you took a bet on yourself?
Been great, man. Great decision. Yeah. Like I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much detail, but like it's been awesome. People are super. The thing that I love about it is that I now have, people that are supporting me and, paying for stuff and like the price point that I chose is not like significant because I wanted to try to get as many people to be involved as possible. But like, I don't like people are just really, really nice about anything that I'm producing because they're paying for it and they are supporting me and they're doing it because they want to support me as opposed to like, being out there in front of a larger group of people and them, just getting angry at you all the time. So that's been really nice. But yeah, I mean, like business wise, it's going great.
You kind of pioneered the short form podcast. Like,
yeah, I mean,
like
are more people doing this?
Shipcast.
Yeah, I'm not used to this.
And
This is like 19 late round.
Feels weird for you to say anti shipcast after saying this is our podcast together.
Yeah.
There's multiple ways, right? Like you can like microwave something, but you can also like smoke it slowly, and both can be like good, right?
Yeah, I microwave my podcast. Yeah, I'm the microwave.
This is a beef brisket of podcast over here.
Yeah, it's the beef brisket. I'm the TV dinner.
We're low and slow, right? You're searing the steak over there at late round QB.
Yeah, I did add though. I added late round perspectives to the feed this year, this season, to get like one long form show in there, and that's been going really well. But yeah, I mean, I changed things up a little bit. But what's up?
Last question. You were very like kind of like anti rankings.
Yeah, I still am.
But here's the thing.
But I still don't.
This is gotcha journalism.
Yeah, here we go.
We love people like me, the normies. We love rankings.
I know.
So like, how do you
set it? He's anti-rankings because you're gonna look at two players that he hasn't given a ton of specific thought to those exact two players, and he might have a different answer than where they land on his rankings. There's no way to do rankings perfectly where you would make every decision the way someone like you would consume it.
There's way too much nuance to every decision that we're making in fantasy that it's rarely as straightforward as people think that it is. And
sure.
I don't like rankings because of that. I understand why people want to consume rankings and they want rankings. I get all that. And so I give in and I do the best I can. And I have rest of season rankings that I do now. The problem is that, again, there's just not that much like detail surrounding. Like I like to go through the reason behind why I have player X here and player Y here. And it's impossible to do that for, I'm doing rest of season rankings. I'm doing top 150 every week. And then my dynasty rankings, I'm doing 200. And like, it's just hard to get, you can't get to all those players. And so that's the frustrating part about rankings and why I've never been a huge fan. But now that I'm out on my own, I need to offer it to have a sustainable and decent business because people are going to want it.
Yeah.
I don't have rankings for the in-season stuff, and I'll be adding them next year. I'm gonna figure out a way to add them next year because it's just like people want them.
People want them,
and I gotta figure out a way to add them.
Rankings. What do you mean for in-season?
Weekly rankings,
weekly and rest of season.
Oh, for each week versus rest of season
or
rankings.
rest of season. I did Bestball rankings all summer.
Here's the thing. I will like people will like on Patreon and stuff will come to me and say give recommendations of like what to add on the Patreon and stuff like that. And like, I flat out and be like, I don't have time. Like I can't do it. I can't. Right. But I will say that if you can get a good cadence, like my weekly rankings, I do them on Wednesday morning, get them out there, update them on Thursday before the games. And then I don't touch them until Sunday, until games start Sunday morning. Like, I'm not just like, there's not like an active doc, right? That I'm uploading a new file and stuff like that, just so that it's not so focused on the ranking side of things.
Yeah. Do you answer specific start sit questions?
So I would do at first last year and like into this year, I wasn't doing flex rankings. I was just doing, each position. And so any same position questions, I would just say reference the rankings. Like it became a thing, like RTR, like just reference the rank. And it got to the point when I was doing my live streams for patrons, I had like a ping file, like an image, an overlay of just it's saying reference the rank. Like remember to reference the rankings. It was sort of like a bit, whatever. And then finally, I'm just doing flex rankings. Now I just do flex rankings, and then now all the start sits are basically answered through that, unless someone has like a pretty like detailed and sort of nuanced question for their roster.
The funny thing is it more reveals like a psychological thing, which is people aren't even actually looking for the quote unquote answer. They're looking for validation on what they've already decided. Yeah, and so when they ask you the question, they want you to say the answer they've already come up with in there.
100%. 100%.
And people, it's almost like in the world of product, right? You have to show your homework. But no one checks to see if you actually did your homework. They're just looking at the answers. They just want the answers and see like, okay, JJ has written a 200-page draft guide, all by himself.
90% of it is game theory,
and I just want to go to the very end and
I do the rankings are.
Yeah,
I know he's done the homework. So who does he like?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing though. I do think that because like I've built what I do, my quote unquote brand and you guys do the same thing, where it's not just player takes and just simply spewing that out and just being like, I genuinely, I know we were talking about like my damn Najee.
Pretty good one. That was a good
best football of his life.
I know, yeah, right. I know that we were talking earlier about like my mentions and stuff, but I genuinely believe that I don't get trolled nearly as much as a lot of people out there. Like a lot of the trolling that I get is for like the stupid Nick Saban stuff. It's never about like the actual analysis I'm doing. And I think it all comes down to if you're showing your work, people do respect that more and troll you less as a result, even when you're wrong. Like if you could just be like, this is why I got to the conclusion I got to, people don't care as much if you got it wrong because
it's also how you carry yourself, right? And it goes back to kind of the fantasy receipt stuff of a lot of people who try to make a name for themselves come in with like just wild hot takes. There's a
Jaylen Warren catch and some yardage for the second half.
Love that.
Where if you, because that kind of shit gets traction, right? Where you're like, this is the gold star lock. This guy can't fail. That you have to start this guy. You would be an idiot to not do this or blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Where it's like, when you do that, you are encouraging engagement in both directions. You got to be willing to take it how you're dishing it as well. Well, you've never done a tweet like that because you understand ranges of outcomes and probabilities.
Yeah. Well, they always say that like when you're listening to an expert, if they're using words like probably in their analysis and while they're talking, that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing because they understand that there's a lot to it's like
this is the Fox versus Hedgehog thing where it's like, however, that's a good sign. Moreover can be a bad sign.
Right.
The tacit knowledge concept as well, where it's like if A, then B, but if C is also present, then maybe it's D. But except when Q is present, then Z, and I mean that's
And I've gotten Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say really quick. I've gotten heat in the past for not having like strong enough takes, but I'm just not gonna. It's impossible for me to be that way. You know what I mean? Like it's impossible for me to like have these if you've listened to me long enough, I feel like people start to understand like when I'm bolder than not. But like there's just no reason for me to be like this is 100% going to happen because I played this and done this too long. Like it's just not the way that it works.
I love you guys said a second ago that people have the answer in their head of what they want you to say, but how tilting is it? gave me like some PTSD because I don't answer a lot of those questions anymore. But I remember back in the day when they'd ask you one and you'd answer and you wouldn't show your work, and they go, "Oh, really? Why not the other one?"
Yeah,
the other guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think from a consumer standpoint, I love what Established Run does because they satisfy different demands. Like if someone goes down in camp, or if there's a report in camp, they'll be like, "Oh, Leone's like, oh, I ticked up so and so in the projections, in the rankings, and those are updated." Of course, I'm going to go look at those to see like what those updates are. And on the flip side, I love the Silva versus Leone show. In fact, I think that Silva capitulates way too much now to Leone. Like every time he capitulates, I'm just like, no, Silva, stand up for yourself.
I also think that the match with because I actually had this is a spoiler, but tomorrow's late round perspectives episode is with Denny Carter, and it was the first time we've ever podcasted together. Yeah, first time we ever podcasted together too. And so I was talking to him about like how Roto World because he's has this like journalism background. He obviously approaches fantasy analysis and writing a little bit different than we would, let's say. And so I was asking him how Roto World changed the way that he approaches things and stuff like that. And I think that we've seen it from a lot of Roto World people where, and Pat, you can obviously chime in if you agree or disagree here, but I think that like a Levitan, for instance, there's no one in the game that's better at analyzing news than Levitan.
Yeah.
That's what he does. And
if you could have 5 Twitter accounts, you would have Levitan.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like he understands how to read between the lines and what's important and what's not. And in doing that. And so I think that and I've noticed over the last few years with doing the show with Denny that he's brought that to the table more just from writing blurbs and sifting through all that kind of stuff. And I think that's why ETR though, with the Levitan and Silva obviously coming from the same spot, but Levitan, and then how well it works with a Leone and Dink then and such is that just the combo of those brains working together just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Levitan said when I was starting over there, he's like, it'll make you better. Yeah, because it's kind. I mean, I found it. I think blurbing, some people don't mind it so much, and then some people. And I'm one of these people are just kind of like, oh man, it just wasn't, it's just long. I also would to get the walkthrough done, I would put both I would do 2 shifts on Mondays. So from 8 to 6, I would just be blurbing. And that's a bit of a grind, but you just start to understand so much more about, you just do it enough where you're like, what does this mean when this happens? What is this DNP? Oh, right. Little things we all kind of know, but adding a guy pops on a Thursday after not being on the Wednesday DNP, it's he's not playing.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of exactly.
Well, do you know what's so funny about that, Pat? And I was thinking about this week with before the trade deadline, right? And Adam Schefter had the article, Titans are not going to trade Derrick Henry. And then you read the second line of the article and it says, but they would actually consider it if they got an offer that they like. They're like, we're intending not to trade him. And we told them we weren't, but if we get something we might consider it. And that is the thing too, of probably the value to the blurb writers who are actually writing the blurbs and doing the research and reading the source material. It's incredibly valuable, but because of the nature of the beast and how you have to get people to click stuff and you need a compelling headline, most people are only consuming the headline. I would say probably 90%, and that's maybe even being generous, are consuming the headline. But the people who are actually doing the blurb research, and you see the sickos in the best ball space, they're reading the athletic articles. They're reading the full reports. All the guys I respect too, guys like JM and Sean Siegel, they're watching every press conference, reading everything, because there is things to pull out of the nuance.
That's a pretty big edge now. I think the press conference.
It's a huge edge.
But it's not distilled into the headline. But the headline has to be part of the fantasy industrial complex, but it isn't the actual important part about it.
But that's everything in our world now, where there's a headline and then there's nuance. And and JJ was just saying with the ranks, there is a lot of nuance in what we do. And so it's if you put the time in, you'll understand more of the nuance and you'll be able to apply it.
I also think there's a thing where you learn. I remember in the summer there was a blurb potential. Like I was on Shift, and there was an article on ESPN, and they were talking about. It was like one of the national reporters was at camp talking to the coaches, and they referenced. Funnily enough, it might have been Chase Edmonds, but they said something like he is their third down back, and so it's like okay. So they're playing him on third downs, like he's gonna have a third down role. And reading the article, it's like, no, that's not what is being said. What is being said is this guy does this thing. He's good at receiving, and they like that about him. But it's like put in the term, he's their third down back. I didn't blurb that, and I'm glad I didn't, because it's like that's like a fake headline kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's like a local beat who's been there all summer wouldn't have put it in those terms, but like someone from a national source who goes in and is just like, here's the lay of the land might be. So you learn little shit like that.
Have you guys seen the Coach Speak Index account on Twitter?
Oh, yeah.
That's an awesome account.
Yeah,
I really like that.
Really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's someone commenting on it.
And honestly, and this isn't to take anything away from like all of the research he's done, but literally just someone aggregating the source material of the press conference quotes.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah, like
but there's a need, right? Like
there's a need.
Like that's the thing that like everyone's always like, oh, there's everything in the fantasy industry is already filled. And I'm like, I guarantee you it's not. I mean, and then they're like, well, what like when people are asking me for advice or whatever, they're like, well, what can I do to find to differentiate myself and stuff? I'm like, I mean, if I knew that, I would probably do it myself and try doing it. Yeah, right. Like you gotta know like who you are as an analyst and what you want to do and all that kind of stuff. But like the Coach Speak thing is a perfect example where like that was not really served, and this season it pops up and they're crushing. It's been awesome.
And it's given me more like Sean McVay is someone who's been pretty truthful the way he talks about his backfield.
Which that's the best part about it. They've actually researched the different head coaches. We all had our opinions of that, but they're like, this is a percentage.
Right.
And like heading into Sunday, I remember that the super ambiguous week, and it's like, we were all kind of holding on to the Zach Evans wish casting. Right. And I remember updating it because I wrote the post for Fantasy Life on Sunday morning. It's like, it's Darrell Henderson and Royce Freeman. Like, this is very clear.
They've said it all week.
He said it all week, and he's a trustworthy narrator. And we used to not be able to get that.
Yeah. Yeah. That McVay stuff with the Rams backfield was funny how like, I understand people, going ham for Zach Evans, whatever. I'm not even going to talk down on that. But like when Wednesday hit and they asked McVay that question at the presser where they were like, is Zach Evans going to be like the guy? And he was like, basically, he was just like, no, like it's just not going to happen. And immediately you had all these people coping about, with their Evans shares after the fact. But it became pretty obvious that they just weren't going to go in that direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was a sick block from George Pickens because that was a really good play by the safety there, and he couldn't hit him too hard. He would have got unsportsmanlike crackback. He just shoulder bumped him. That was sweet.
That's good. I got him in my points per block league.
To the Coach Speak Index thing, there was I think Jeff Zarebeck, who's a beat writer for the Ravens, tweeted out that Lamar Jackson said he wanted more Rashad Bateman involved. And like, I was like, and he tweeted a picture of it. And I was like, oh, sick. Like there must be a link to this. Like, where's the press conference? Like, how do I want to see this.
Warren, third catch. Push.
I'm already so spoiled that I couldn't see it.
Diontae scores a TD here and we win tonight, boys.
Yep.
Diontae TD would be great.
Sorry, Pat, I missed that. What was the actual quote?
I never got to check. I need to like go scour YouTube, but I was just like, was
that this week?
I think it was this week. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I believe it was. I hope it was. Didn't really happen last week.
Yeah, I was gonna
say. Exactly. Were you dreaming?
But yeah, it's just like it just reminded me.
Pickens points per block to set up a touchdown.
Needed it. Needed it.
He set himself up.
We have yards there, right?
Pickett passing TD.
Pickett passing
TD. And the higher on Pickens TDs.
Do we have yards for Pickens?
That also helps all the Titans catching props.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's
the kitchen scoreboard, buddy. Scoreboard.
Oh, and Warren's almost there. He's way up.
Warren's almost there.
As a Titans fan, I'm actually like in like.
Oh no, he didn't get it in.
Oh my
out.
God!
out.
Scoreboard me, kitchen. Scoreboard me.
Damn.
Drag your
Scoreboard.
foot. Why don't you
Honestly,
drag?
As a Titans fan, though, we're living in this like best case scenario where if you lose, you lose, and you're just going to get a better draft pick. As long as there is like evidence that Will Levis can be the guy, which I think this game has.
Yeah, if they win, then that means Levis is playing well.
Right. And if they lose, as long as Levis is like the Titans offensive line is one of the worst in the league.
Yeah.
That's something
You don't want
can
Zach
address.
Wilson wins, is what you're telling me. No Zach Wilson wins.
Right. And
Yeah.
so like if Pittsburgh wins, like that, we just get a better draft pick.
Can I give you guys a take on that play?
I really don't
that
care who wins
this
the game.
makes me so mad. I feel like you're naturally trying to put your foot down so you don't fall down. But wide receivers on the sideline, the good ones, like the DeAndre Hopkins, it's just a focus thing. But they should always drag and be willing to go to the ground out of bounds, is my point, right? Because you might not be able to then keep your feet. That every single time, the one foot should go down, the other foot should drag. And there's certain receivers that do it every time, and there's certain receivers that don't.
Yeah.
And it's a difference between like huge plays sometimes.
right.
Like
Right.
it's a lot of points.
Yeah.
Like DeAndre Hopkins scores a lot of touchdowns because he does that on every catch.
Yeah,
like
he's
that-
got to
so
drag
much
that.
space.
That should have been a touchdown.
It has to be
Yeah.
dragged, and if you have to go to the ground, then go to the ground. But
Yeah.
like drag your fucking foot. That's all.
Yeah.
You have to drag your foot at that spot.
Did you
That's
guys
just the
did you guys
lack
go
of
with the Pickett over touchdowns too?
Dude knows ball.
Yes.
Yards.
That one
No,
would have
that
been
was
very
rough.
nicely correlated there.
Yeah.
I do think Pickens is typically very good at that. Joey just said there are some receivers that never
Yeah.
do it that piss me off. I actually think Pickens is pretty good at this, and it's pissing me
Yeah.
off because
That's why
Why
I'm pretty
would you do it
surprised
there?
that happened because
Yeah,
he's
I am
usually got
too.
he's got amazing body control. He's usually like good at those.
He does, yeah.
Did you say he has an
is.
amazing body?
Yeah.
The kitchen said that.
Tell me about it.
I don't know numbers, guy. I don't know numbers. I just look at their bodies and I
Just look at their bodies.
get a good
Yeah,
feel
you
for
know what I
who's
mean.
who.
It's funny because like that is sort of what we do in training camp. Like we laugh, but in August we're basically just looking at these dudes' bodies.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
know
it's pretty
I
good.
know every guy's body in the NFL.
Thank you.
I know their numbers though too. To be fair.
Obvious. You know, like they're
Get you a man
Whatever.
who knows both the numbers and their bodies.
all right. I'm probably gonna drop. I know you guys said second quarter only.
Yeah,
and
I gotta
we've been
drop
on
out
like
too.
for the first.
Yeah,
My son,
no,
my
it's
son
so
started
good.
crying.
We got to get Steph on to talk a little waivers here in a bit, but
this
we
was so much
appreciate
fun.
you guys joining
Oh, it
us.
was
It was
awesome.
a
I love
blast.
It's
chatting with
amazing.
you guys.
It's
Yeah.
effortless. Like, and this is why I love the tree, right? Because
We
Oh,
love it.
bro.
What about the Grove?
Thanks for letting
bro?
me graft on there, kitchen.
What about the Grove?
you're welcome. Yes, the grove, the forest is
grove.
awesome because it's at the end of the day, it is about the friends that you make along the way. So
I mean, honestly, it is true. Oh, there it is. There it is. Can we get fireworks one more time? 'Cause that was
Yeah,
pretty
can you get
awesome.
the
Yeah, give us some
Fireworks.
fireworks on the way out.
Oh my God.
the rave. Fireworks
So
for the
good.
road.
How did he do that?
I think you got to turn them more to the.
Was it up?
Yeah.
Did you go up?
Because it needs to see your thumbs.
JJ,
Oh!
There it is.
there it is. When Will Levis
love you guys.
avoids
Thanks
the
for having
track-
me on.
You're the man.
Yeah,
Love you too,
we
kitchen.
appreciate you. JJ, anything you want the people to check out here?
Just go to lateround.com, look at my ugly mug, and see what I'm offering.
And you say, ask you start sets. There's no rankings, and you'll
There's
personally
no
answer all
rankings.
start sets.
Yeah, I will answer. Yeah, every start. When you join, make sure you join the Discord and just tag me constantly all day. It'd be great. It'd be great.
I think you're good with this crew. I appreciate you guys. This was a blast.
All right, guys. Thanks.
All right.
Later, guys.
We'll see
Take
you
care.
guys later. Steph, whenever you'd like to tap in, I know we're a little later tonight, but Steph, happy to have you swing by, talk a little week 9 waivers in our high stakes portfolio when you are good to go.
What a blast that was. Man, this game kind of hasn't been great, but also, I mean, it's been fantasy relevant. These field goal drives, the ball's been moving. There's yards in this game.
Yeah, there's yards. There's been some nice runs. It's been a nice game to kind of half watch while you hang out with some buddies. That's
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
That kind of game. Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
the thesis. It is that Not getting the Pickett TD and the Pickens yards there
That
was
hurt.
extremely tilting.
Yeah, it hurts.
So tilting.
But we are in really good shape for our core. We just need some Diontae Johnson.
It also
And-
fit the game script. We needed the TD
The
for
game
the game
script
script.
isn't getting.
Yeah. They're going to just keep running. Now you're Henry. Because the Allen Robinson's second catch hasn't come. So the Henry under was important.
Henry's
so
still live.
We wanted a Pittsburgh TD there.
Yeah,
did,
God, that was bad.
Yeah, it was. So we should note, as long as Diontae Johnson gets there, we'll do the giveaway, right? Because Warren only has 3 catches. So if that pushes, we'll still give away.
It's still a win on our account. So yeah, we'll do the giveaway if Diontae gets there.
Yeah, which is.
I mean, Pickett only has 108 pass yards. Maybe when I said I was more sure of this than anything in the world, I should have thought about the fact that Kenny Pickett is the quarterback.
Well, we knew there's many messages of us all laughing that we were going to lose this because of Diontae, and here we are.
Yeah.
With both legs having already
I think-
gotten even.
We're fine. Like this game being close is a boon for all of this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Warren and Diontae are still very much in play.
Yeah.
For sure.
Deontay's at 6.8.
right.
Oh,
All right, come on.
Chuck it, Levis.
Come on. Burks. No, that's Diontae. They're DeAndre Hopkins. Shit.
Well, they might have to punt right away, which wouldn't be bad.
Steph, what's up?
Not much. How are you guys?
We're
Good. How you
hanging
doing?
in there. Thank you for accommodating our little later start tonight for you.
Oh, of course. No problem. I wish I could do the hearts.
I
Yeah,
know, I
can you
didn't-
do it, Steph? Try it. It might work. It might. No? Okay.
Nothing.
Next time you got to hire some, paid actors, fireworks behind you, clearly.
I can get the dog.
you have a dog and you haven't brought him on string yet?
I have a chihuahua.
You have a chihuahua and you haven't
Yeah,
brought him on
we gotta
string?
see the
What are you
chihuahua.
doing, Steph? Steph, this is a crowd favorite.
Well, let me see if I can get her because she is not
This
trained
is the
in.
show that drunkenly orders Taco Bell. And you
Right.
have a little chihuahua that could come on and say, Yo
Yo
quiero
quiero Taco Bell.
She looks like the Taco Bell.
Oh, no. Why?
one,
What's
too.
the same
on.
color?
Yes.
Oh, no.
You know how much we want to get a Taco Bell endorsement.
I almost had her. She ran. She was under the table. She doesn't.
Oh.
When she wants to be picked up on her terms. If I want to do it,
Okay.
Are her terms
At
that we hit our
some point.
5 leg? Is that what her terms are?
well, I'll have to run and go try to get her and coax her. So
Was that an
All
automatic?
right,
We hit-
Steph, at some point, you got it. What's the chihuahua's name?
Bella,
Bella? Bella? Taco Bella?
she knows Bella.
It's
All
wow.
right. Yeah,
This
Taco
is-
Bell
Steph
and
having
Bella.
a chihuahua named Bella while we do this whole Bell bit seems like something we should have known.
Important piece of information.
yeah, exactly. How was this week for you, Steph? The title of your post this week on Fabulous Football, your terrific newsletter, was "Week 9 is not fine." I was picturing the dog on fire emoji there.
Well, that was more in reference just to the waiver wire itself. So, I mean, it was just gross. When
Yeah.
Leonard Fournette is one of the top plays, I mean, that's not the best sign.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
what the Bills said.
Oh,
it was Fournette, but wouldn't you? Was it Will Levis who was going for the most amount of money in leagues?
Yeah, I mean Levis, and I wrote him as my top also, but there was a few others, but Demario Douglas, we already had on teams. Shakir, a few other quarterbacks ended up being available in a lot of leagues that went for a lot of money, but other than that, I mean, those were kind of the higher priced guys that we saw.
Yeah,
And some, a few of the receivers, if or if there was somebody, in a league that isn't in most of them.
who did you think was the big prize this week on waivers, cost adjusted? Let's say.
I mean, I mean, it looks like Levis can play. So, I mean, I think getting, a young upside quarterback with all these injuries and bye weeks and stuff could pay off big. And then, I don't know. We'll have to see if Lenny can do something there and have his playoff magic.
Yeah.
But trying to think. And then I like Shakir. I mean, he could, depends how much time Knox misses. We talked about how many more routes and how much more, 11 personnel they use when they don't have 2 tight ends out there. So that was big for him. We've been trying to guess the third guy in that offense for a while, receiver wise. So seeing him kind of pull away with the job is nice.
I'm pretty interested in Demario Douglas. I'll be honest. Like, you see what Kendrick Bourne did in that offense. You see the thing about him too is I think the misnomer is that he's just kind of the waiver wire flavor of the week. But if you go look at his targets per route run, he's been earning targets this entire season in the offense.
Douglas?
And
and he has.
I think he's gonna be a thing. Like, I think he can give us like 95% of like what Kendrick Bourne was doing, like down the rest of the stretch. I think he's a legit ad.
I mean, he also feels like their answer for what they had with Jacoby Myers last year, which Juju wasn't able to be the answer for.
Yeah.
Even because it's a little bit different role than Bourne, but yeah.
No, I
was just gonna say it's tough with Douglas because the matchup is so good this week. Oh wait, was that Burks?
It was, but he only got like 4 yards.
God damn it.
We'll take it.
Hey, it's better than before.
It's better than nothing. Because when you look at Douglas with the target earning stuff, he looks really good. And then he's got a really good matchup. So I'm happy to start him in places where we need we're starting him on the Leone team, and that's probably like our 3rd worst start on the team, maybe 4th. But I did know in the walkthrough that he has a really low open score and has faced a really low rate of double coverage. So he does seem like the type of dude. Like, I think he was probably better off with Bourne there and just operating as like a nice number 2 option on that team. Is kind of like talent-wise where he seems to be at right now.
Oh my God. Chat's saying that Burks is hurt, and then Tyjae Spears, who we have the receiving over on, just caught like a negative 8-yard pass.
Wait, Burks got hurt? How?
So he's farther away.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah. The only thing too, how many double teams is he going to face from the slot, on Demario Douglas?
Fair enough.
That's why I don't have Myers
anything.
thing.
It's like, God.
I think the point I'm trying to make with the Myers thing is Myers consistently got all the targets all last year, and everyone kind of knew it, but you don't really double team the slot. It's a different type of role. Mac was comfortable throwing there, and I do think that's, to Pete's point, I completely agree with this take. I think Douglas could be a legit, like, consistent producer the rest of the way. I've picked him up in like home leagues that are like pretty shallow. I cut Quentin Johnston in a home league to pick up Demario Douglas because I had to start him. I'm not starting Quentin Johnson.
Gretch, I told someone someone gave me that exact same question in the Fantasy Life Discord. I was like, if you have a sick team and you're coasting to the playoffs, stash QJ. I was like, if you need to start this week or need to rack up wins, you play Douglas over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Steph, anything else interesting to you going down to tier 3? You got some flyer tight ends. Darren Waller might be placed on IR, definitely missing this week. Donald Parham in here. Then we're down into kind of the flyer wide receiver territory. Anything else jump out to you?
Well, if you scroll to the very end, if Demario Douglas isn't a thing, maybe we can get Tyquan. No, I'm joking. Halfway.
Please.
But I don't know, so that's pretty much it, because most of those other guys, and I kind of tried to say, they're more if you need a fill in. They're not people I would pick up that have a ton of upside, but it's like there's been a lot of injuries. So if one of your guys is hurt and everyone's on bye and you need to start, that's kind of it. DPJ, some people are a little more excited about than others. It's kind of just a big mess at the moment. I think that everybody outside of, Amon-Ra and Laporta just is rotating, and it might, I don't know if any of them are going to come away with a big role, but I've seen some people, and he went for a little more in a few leagues. So there's a few people hyping him up somewhere, but we didn't really. We put $1 a few places. That was about it.
Didn't we get Van Jefferson on a team and you had to break that news to Gretch?
Yeah, Gretch was not happy. I think it was stat chasing, right?
No, that was on chip taking.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, Davis.
But he was way down there. It was on the dollar. Like way down there.
I'm managing that team out of protest the rest of the season. I made it very clear.
Steph, I would say our last week was a pretty good week for our portfolio. We've got a lot of teams in the playoff hunt, a lot of teams scoring a ton of points. Was that your read on the situation as well?
Yeah, overall we had more wins than losses for sure. And I mean, a lot of we have very few teams that I would say are dead, if any, I mean, most of them are, in definitely a competitive spot or, with a little bit of luck could still definitely make it.
Yeah. Like our NFFC portfolio, the worst place we're in is a 6th place with Davis. And I mean, if you adjust for having Davis as the co-manager, it means like we're just absolutely smashing like across our entire NFFC portfolio.
The FFPC portfolio is doing well too, because we got our team with Daryl's doing really well.
Chasing Go Bills, 3rd place, our mini-sode episode. And I was messaging you guys.
Sick.
That team is
so
sick.
This was a true 0 RB team, and I was messaging you guys that this was why like 0 RB works, because it has Jordan Addison, it has Deebo Samuel, these guys that give you, splash weeks, but then you have to weather the storm. And it also has DK Metcalf, it has CeeDee Lamb, it has AJ Brown. Like you just keep going, and it's been able to always get 4 stud. It has Brandon Ayuk. It gets stud wide receivers in that lineup every single week.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Super fun team. And then it's a Tua Mostert Miami QB running back stack, which has been amazing.
Yeah, that's sick too. Our team with Sean is also in 1st.
Yes,
it is.
Chasing Stolen Bananas is doing really well.
Yep.
I should pull that one up. That's a fun team because it's the Travis Etienne. Oh, not this week. Oh my God, I just realized the buy.
Right, Etienne, McCaffrey, Laporta down there at the bottom. Also Laporta on a buy. This was a team we talked about on Stealing Bananas today because we're talking about how Tua and Laporta have both been hits, and I was like, we have both of them on this team. And Sean was talking about how some of the rosters we built are very balanced. This is a great example of a team where we feel like we have a really good quarterback, a really good tight end. We have McCaffrey and Etienne at running back, and then we have
spent up for Puka here. We got Puka.
We got
after
Puka.
week 1 here, I believe.
Yeah.
It's not as strong wide receiver wise. You don't have an elite number 1 because you did take McCaffrey in round 1, but it is a really good wide receiver group. It has basically every.
And we lost Dobbins on this team, right?
We did.
That might be right.
This was a Dobbins team because it was basically we had 3 running backs we invested in, and then we lost Dobbins.
That's why our receiving core is Hyatt, QJ, Mims, Burks, and we're waiting for a lot of those guys to break. They might not. We do have JSN down there, which is nice. I like him better than those other names.
We got JSN a lot of places.
We sure do. Although the Metcalf hasn't been practicing, Lockett's been limited. Who knows? I would say like our worst team is probably the Crack Rock team, right? That team's been struggling 11th place, but the points are still okay.
I mean, that team's run. Somehow, though, in waivers, I get the best guys for like $1 on that team randomly all the time. I mean, but like last week, I had it happened to go against like another team that had I forgot, but it was ridiculous. It was like CMC, CD, like that was like the only reason this team lost last week. It actually did pretty it put up a lot of points.
Yep. Yeah.
So, but that's probably
wrote here, Breece Hall, Devontae Smith, DeAndre Hopkins, Trey McBride, and Jake Ferguson, and we still lost. That seems absurd.
I mean, knowing the scores they put up last week,
That is nuts.
Yeah, if you ran into, I know we had some teams, right, where you ran into, I think it was in stat chasing. We played against a CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown team last week, and so
I played against Go Bills this week myself. If you scroll down, they already saw the blurb, so
Yeah.
Your
know
mortal
what?
enemy.
Go Bills stays winning here. What's the latest from your group chat with Wu-Tang and Chris G? Have you been having to battle them, knock some sense into them? Is Chris G taking any L's on CD Lamb?
I mean, he hasn't taken the L on CD Lamb, but he you know, we've been pretty in sync lately about our decisions. We're getting better.
Good. That's
I
good.
mean,
We're getting better.
There
we go.
Let's go, Diontae.
Is Burks actually hurt though? Are we screwed there?
Yeah, I think so. Jeff
No.
Mueller
The three-way can
looks
still
like
hit.
It said he looks like he injured his left knee again.
Oh, great.
Jeez.
His left knee injuries.
Did he step out or did he get those extra yards? I want those extra yards.
He stepped out.
Oh, he
there,
stepped
yeah.
out right there. Come on.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about things in general, Stephanie? As that, you know, we're entering the home stretch here. There's only a few regular season weeks left in these waiver contests.
Yeah. And we do go all the way until the playoffs for him. By the way, I did look after you asked me last week. So it is a little longer than they kind of changed a few things this year, it looked like. But I mean, like I said, yeah, I think we definitely have several teams that could make a run at it. So hopefully we get a big hit. And I'm pretty excited about our waiver chasing team. I think it's coming on at the right time, and it's got some legs. Like, you know, all we need is basically one team to get a loss, and we might be leading the pack there if we don't get the points just with our win-loss record alone.
Yeah, let me pull up this team here.
It's an interesting team.
Pickens just lost like 4 yards and now has negative receiving yards. 2 catches for negative 1 yard. Just a fun update there.
Great. Waiver chasing here. Walk us through this team, Steph. This was the team where we basically punted week 1 because we drafted this team live in Vegas. But we have Travis Kelce and run it down here.
Well, yeah. Well, we got Kelce. He fell, so we got that him like in the late. We got in the second round. We took Garrett Wilson with our first pick. Then we, of course, had to, do our Breece Hall thing. I'm trying to think who else we had. Oh, this originally was an air. Well, we have Gibbs. That was amazing.
Well, it's funny because we had
Rodgers on this team.
We could have taken ETN, which even now we probably should have, but it feels less worse than it did to have taken Gibbs.
Yeah.
This was a Rodgers Garrett Wilson stack. This team would be so dope with Rodgers healthy.
I know.
Yeah, that's what it
Sean dropped a stat on me today that was like there's like 4 receivers that have a 33% plus target share or something like that, and it's like the 3 elites, and it's like Tyreek Hill, I don't know, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, something like that, and then Garrett Wilson is the other one, and it's like, I mean, he's dominating his passing game, but he has Zach Wilson in QB.
I was like, every week when I look at his stat line, I'm like, how did he get to 100 yards? Like, it's just it's incredible how he's doing it. He would have absolutely scorched the earth this year. I mean, the Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson campaigns with 17 weeks of Aaron Rodgers would have been face melting.
It would have been fun.
Yeah.
It's actually not like we did a pod on Monday talking through the leg up rankings, and Kyle was like, "This is like a 10th percentile run out for Breece," and hit.
Yeah,
exactly. It's insane.
Because not just the Aaron Rodgers injury, it's that Zach Wilson is somehow like fooled them into thinking they didn't need to add a quarterback when they so clearly should not be going with Zach Wilson. It's like there are universes where like he at least has Carson Wentz, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Steph, Matt says here we are burying the lead. Give us the Scott Fishbowl update. How are we doing?
Well, so I needed 6 points, which I thought I had a win. And then I had Devonta Adams, who somehow, along with Jacoby Myers, combined for 2 catches, and, watching him miss that touchdown, or that long pass wide open, get overthrown. And whatever happened. Was a mess. So I had my first loss by 3 points, and then I missed the league median, I think, by 0.44 or something like that, or less than a point. So it gives you 2 losses because you're playing 2 games. But I'm in 18th place. But I mean, I'm a little worried about Adams,
Yeah.
just a tad.
I think this week sets up well for him. Last time they had AOC, he got peppered with targets. Nothing, scary about the Giants. You blow it up here. New coaching staff. I don't know. I think this could be like a 10-target Davante Adams game.
It could be. I mean, hopefully. Then I was thinking if the Giants can't do anything, do they just try to run it ineffectively with Jacobs the whole game? So that's kind of my other slight fear, but who knows? And I don't know what to do with Myers either. I got him in a couple places. I'm a little worried about starting him, so we'll see.
Yeah, the Myers, the one game
Tougher.
with AOC was his lowest target game of the year, which is kind of. But again, we're talking about a 1-game sample size, so it's you don't want to overreact.
And Myers' profile, like for the season, is exactly the same as Adams. It's actually
really
nuts. Target wise, Adams has the lead, but it's like partly driven by the first read stuff. Like there's not a lot of. I think Myers is having a very.
Is that Burks?
Oh,
Let's
Burks, baby.
go.
He's
All of you who are in the chat shitting on Burks, you can go back and delete your post.
Was that enough? Did he hit it? What did we need?
Oh,
7 yards?
All we
No,
needed was one
we needed
catch,
like 7
which
yards.
I was
Oh.
told was absolutely impossible.
Oh my God.
Who told you that?
The entire chat when we shared that one.
We got
Hang
one
on, get
dog.
Bella
What's
on
the name?
screen.
If I can get her, all right.
Wait, we got to
We
get
got
double doggos right now.
Double dog.
All right. Let me try.
All right. We got Murphy.
Murphy hates when the
Sure.
store behind me is
Yeah.
closed. So he doesn't even want to be in here with me most of the time. He just comes in and opens that door up and is like, keep this fucking door open. And then he leaves. He doesn't even want to be in.
There he comes.
We got a
Oh my God.
Look at this.
With the dog.
Look at the
Bella.
doggos. Oh my God.
Oh.
How have you been holding out Bella on us? This is adorable.
Oh my God.
Oh
I
my
Get
bet-
him Taco Bell.
Bella. She watches normal TV, but she's like unaware of the computer for some reason. Because normally she would be going crazy if she saw another dog.
Bella really does bear a resemblance
Dude, I
Yeah.
love
to the Taco
Bella.
Bell dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got to reboot those commercials starring Bella.
God, Bella's gonna make me
100%.
relapse and order a Crunchwrap Supreme tonight.
Pete, I got hungry and I didn't even realize until you said, and I was like, I'm hungry.
Oh my God. Bella's adorable. As it Murphy, I don't want to,
No,
discredit
no.
Murphy, but it's just the first time we've seen Bella,
He
Right.
can't hear.
Look at these dogs. This is adorable. This is
Thanks,
adorable.
But yeah, they're both adorable.
Yeah.
Make Bella say the line.
She does
Birds
sing
and barks.
sometimes to certain commercials. She
Yeah.
howls along.
Yeah.
I have a video of her somewhere, like way back on my Twitter, where she always sings. She sings to the opening of Jimmy Kimmel for some reason,
Really?
like
That's
almost
her-
on
that's her
cue.
go-to.
She likes certain jingles of commercials.
I
too.
love it. All right. We need a Chig. We need a Chig catch here. Steph, it's great catching up with you as always. I mean, can we just make Bella a staple of your appearances too? I mean, we love
Yeah.
having you on the show, but you with Bella is just an unbeatable combination.
Another level.
Of course.
All right. Bella's
It's got to bring
adorable.
good luck. We're trying to
Yeah.
we're
How
trying
old
to
is-
ring the bell, you know.
Exactly. How old is Bella?
She's almost 13.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
And wise beyond her years.
She looks really good for 13.
She
Yeah.
does.
She's
Yeah.
sharp.
All young and sharp. Yeah.
She doesn't look a
She
day
does.
over
She
eight.
still runs around, acts like
That's awesome.
Cujo. She does not like other dogs or people. She barks at
Hey,
everybody.
she seems to like the camera though. She's looking right
Yeah,
in the
she
camera.
loves it,
She's-
yeah.
Bella knows ball for sure. Well, Steph, we appreciate you as always. You're going to take us to the promised land in many of these high stake leagues. All of you need to be following Steph on Twitter as well as her weekly newsletter. And I know I screen share the second part of the newsletter, but Steph is now doing a two-parter. The first part is more for home league stuff. So even if you aren't playing in high stakes leagues, that edition is very valuable. And then you can also get the high stakes version that includes the wrap up of our teams if you want to check in on how we're doing. So Steph, appreciate all your great work and always great catching up with you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And
Thanks,
Stella and more people have to go to the dog park sometime.
Yes,
No.
please.
There you go. Great seeing you, Steph. And of course, Stella, anytime we want to ring the bell, we're going to be thinking about you for sure.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Hey, I bought it. I think Stella.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful. All right, Steph, we will catch you next week, as always, for your hit weekly segment.
All right. Good night, guys.
Night, Steph.
Night.
That is
So we
Steph
got-
Miller. Yeah, let
we
me pull
got-
this up to do a roundup of these.
Well,
So-
I think start with the core for the game. There we go. Yeah. We're at the 8 with Diontae. We need 2.75. So
Yep.
that's like 2 catches and that's 1 point. And then what? 17.5 yards. 2 catches for 18 will do it, right? That'll
Yep.
be
Okay.
that'll be
The
2.8.
Westbrook Akine is done, but this halftime one, so Warren has already cleared his. Burks
So we just
got
need a
there
chig
on that catch.
A
We need
chig catch.
Levis has been dealing. We still need about 60 yards from him. Spears.
Another chig catch.
Yeah, the chig catch there. This one is the Spears, and man, that
Oh,
Kenny
God.
Pickett TD.
Didn't we
Yeah.
do one with the Burks 5-leg?
Yes,
Yeah, there it is,
that's
the top one.
Spears.
Okay.
That's why the Pickens one hurts so much.
Pickens.
God,
Because-
he's to -1.
If that touchdown,
They
was
have the
counted,
little
we would-
bar, you guys.
Yeah.
They have the bar on the bottom. It fills up when it goes green. Spears is yellow. Pickens is
Yeah.
all the way yellow because he went off the thing. It reset the bar and it's yellow.
Reset the bar can't handle it.
I
Yeah.
can't handle it. Oh god.
Oh man, wow. I did see this on Twitter. Brett Coleman has Pickens a half yards for his
Oh my
bootleg
God.
deal. God, that's so tilting.
He was over it and then he went behind it with that.
What's the
catch.
bootleg deal? What is that?
I need to go pull it up.
Like, how would you get that? What is that?
It's I don't know. It says bootleg special here. Bootleg special higher than 0.5 total yards. That's so brutal. He's in the same
Amazing.
boat with us though. He needs a chig catch. He needs
Chig.
Diontae. Yeah.
He's got Levis. Levis actually went over. The Pickett
Yeah.
one is still a few pass attempts away.
Yeah. Oh, bootleg is his podcast. All right. So they gave him a special. You know what? That's it.
Huh.
I need to hit up.
That's
I need to hit
interesting.
up Andrew. We need to get a shipcast special.
Interesting.
Yeah,
you just
we
get
need
special
to.
here the bootleg.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting.
We're out.
Huh.
We're out.
I wonder
here
if
having to
other
work.
people did podcasts on this content. If they would get a special.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Let's tell
Just
Underdog
be
we're part of
curious. I don't
Kitchen
know
Street.
one way or another.
And,
Certainly
and
don't know
like
an example
it
of
would
not
just be
happening.
it would be the rookie every week. We just need we
Yeah.
need, it would have been Traylon Burks this
It's not
week.
hard.
Yeah,
An underperforming rookie every single
Yeah.
week,
every week.
who we've probably touted.
Don't Najee it.
Yeah, we're seriously running down 3 in the fourth quarter. Up
I got to
the
get
hill.
another drink, guys. I'm gonna.
All out.
Going to Joshua Tree tomorrow, Pete.
You are?
Yeah.
You dropping a bean, dude? Gonna find
What's a
God
bean?
out there?
What is a bean like? Shrooms? What is a bean?
Dude, if you have to ask, you can't afford
I
it.
do have to ask. I don't know what a fucking bean is.
What
I'm
you doing
not
out there,
sure
man?
You
You
do
trying to
either.
find God? You trying to trip balls, dude?
You're now just yelling because you're worried
Nature?
you might have to explain what a
Nat-
bean is.
Nature's not enough for you, man? You got to fucking drop a bean out there to
No,
enjoy
I
it?
thought you were pro bean. You're anti-bean?
I am pro bean, but I'm just wondering why you're dancing around it. Just admit it. You're dropping a bean out there, dude.
Listen, Pete,
what are you doing out there? What are you
I'm
doing?
interested. I'm interested in this bean concept. I would just like to know what exactly it is.
I'm just asking what you're
acid?
doing out there.
This bean does that mean acid? What is it?
But I'm not allowed to say on this show. We're sponsored by Underdog. I don't want them to be associated with a bean.
We're camping, hiking.
Oh, sounds like a euphemism for dropping a bean to me.
We might be doing rock climbing, although I don't really know how to rock climb, but I'm gonna rent some shoes and see how that goes.
Yeah, you're gonna be climbing some rocks, some crack rocks, that is.
That's right. Yeah, there you go. We're gonna scale the bean.
Nice, dude. That sounds nice.
Yeah, should be good.
Who are you going with? Friends?
Yeah. Britt's friends.
Are you gonna get the walkthrough done before you're dropping a bean and scaling boulders?
Yeah, I mean, I don't boulder, but when I do, I'm tripping bean. That's just how I do it.
Did you realize, because I saw this on Twitter, a lot of people thought you and Gretch were in a game of long form one-upsmanship. You know, your 4-hour walkthrough, Gretch's 20,000 word stealing signals intro. Is that true?
No, we're not. We just both well, I actually have an editor now, so maybe that's it's I tried to whittle this down, and it's not any shorter. But no, it's a personal failing on my end. I just I don't know why it went so long last week. I think it's shorter this week. This week it's shorter. Give me time.
Well, I was confused because I think I made a comment to Lauren and I was like, yeah, Pat had like a 4-hour podcast. And she was like, why is that? And I was like, well, there were no buys. And then I was like, well, before the buys, I don't remember them being 4-hour podcasts.
They weren't. But you know what it is? It's that before the buys, we only have like kind of the fundamental statistics.
Yeah.
But we're just trying to figure out like the noise of those, right? But we don't need to like get into the weeds on anything. Because like no one's like, are we sure this guy's the number one? We're pretty sure who the number one is now. Now we're trying to figure out like more minor details. And then at the end of the season, we don't care about so much stuff. It actually feels more like this week. We're like, this team basically doesn't have an offense. This team's completely tanking. Like there's just like, you can write off like 4 or 5 teams, even if there are no buys. But last week was like, there's like more stuff seemed to matter. So I don't know. I found myself like writing a lot about various teams and situations. So this week was much tighter.
Yeah. All right.
Kenny Pickett just missed a wide open Diontae Johnson for a little quick out. That was.
We got our friend Sean back here. This is the man who initially brought us to a 0 to 10 on Josh Reynolds. He's got a new one for us, guys. This is an interesting one. We gotta chew on this. On a BBM4 scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate Derrick Henry? And how he initially framed this question, I assume he means it here too, is like how you would feel about him just across the entire contest, playoffs included. Do you want this guy on your squads 0 to 10? Diontae!
Yeah, baby!
Let's go!
That's big.
A-Dot!
Yeah, good call, man. Like great call on that. That's not an old school Diontae play. No, that's a fucking Pickens play.
Yes.
Boom.
Do we get it? It needed to be.
It's got to be very close.
It's got to be super close.
We got it.
We got it. We must have
got it.
Yes.
We got it.
Yes.
So we're at least at a push, but man, a Jaylen for the clean. But we are going to
fill out the form.
Did it.
If you have not filled out the form, you need to fill out the form.
I'm going to drop the form in the chat again. Again, please, if you've already filled out the form, don't make me. I'm just going to go remove duplicates, and you're just going to create extra work for me, which I will do.
They're giving Jaylen all the rushes, and he's fucking rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Did he score that?
Yeah, he has.
Oh my god, my phone froze, so I missed it.
We didn't get the Pickett pass TD because Jaylen Warren's too fucking good.
He's too good, dude.
First and goal.
First and goal, dude. If this is a Najee,
Dude, how funny is fantasy football?
No, it's at the half-yard line. There's no way this isn't going to be Najee. We just need him to lose yardage. That's what we're rooting for.
We need them to review it and say it's a score for the best ball bags.
all right. I'm dropping this link in the chat. Do not fill this out if you've already filled it out. After this, we do got to get back to Sean's question because I think it's a good one.
Yeah, it's not a score.
All right. How about a play action?
You got stuff. That's what you knew it was coming, but you needed the stuff.
You needed the stuff, yeah.
Dude,
now we might get a play action rollout, maybe a little dump off to the to Darnell Washington.
I think one way to think about this question is where would you draft Derrick Henry now?
Right.
Like that's a good starting point. Like what would you feel comfortable spending on Derrick Henry?
And because of how bad a lot of other backs have been, I think the answer is probably about what you spent. It's not much later. It's like lower. It's not that much lower. What is it, the fourth round? I think he's
a late second round, early third round pick.
That's where he was.
No, I think he's lower than that.
Najee got stuffed again, and we might have a hold. They're gonna have to
pass.
No way,
because like you've passed the trade deadline. You still get the Texans twice in the fantasy playoffs. He's going nowhere. You're getting a quarterback upgrade in Will Levis. I think you have to be slightly bullish on Henry more so than
that's where I'm at.
The season started.
He's pure two down. Some of that receiving stuff that we were getting the last couple of years that helped.
Underdog famously half PPR.
Yeah, but his rushing efficiency has declined severely over the last couple of years. So getting those screens helped, and you don't get that anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think
the thing that people have to realize when they're
like a fourth rounder.
My initial thought on this was he's a silent killer, and he's like a 3 or a 4. Like that was my initial thought, Pat. I'm with you, but I think because of the landscape of the position, it's like there's not a lot of alternatives. Did we just get a Diontae?
The thing is, and we'll get to answering the BBM scale in a second.
On every play.
The thing that's deceptive, guys, is you're not like benchmark. Like what I think the temptation is to put him with the knowledge we have now into the pre-season ADP. But when you actually rank players now, you realize how many guys are no longer first and second round picks.
Right.
You're not taking Devontae Adams over him. Like that kind of stuff is now like,
a lot of the backs. Saquon Barkley, like I think I would. I mean, like that.
Well, Saquon Barkley had 39 touches last week.
I know. I love Saquon Barkley, but like that offense is so bad. Tony Pollard has not hit the way we want. I would probably.
Yeah, but you're taking Tony Pollard over Derrick Henry without even thinking.
Yes.
Right.
I'm saying the wrong names. I'm trying to think of ADP, and I'm saying some bad names.
I mean, Pollard still has an elite workload. Like, yes, the efficiency's not there, but I mean.
Now they got to run Najee on first and goal. Oh, he's throwing. Deontay TD. There it is.
Boom. We already hit that. Oh, we
started it.
TD.
Yeah,
we started him.
We started Diontae.
That's beautiful. All right, let's do our vote though, because it sounds like we're scaled. Let's write this down on a piece of paper. This is Derrick Henry on a BBM 4 scale, 0 to 10.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I think about this. So the ADP question is interesting. It's an interesting way to think about it, but there's also the best ball way to think about it, where we're like we are seeking hits. So,
because what and just on this scale, like to me, like CMC's a 10.
Yeah, CMC's a 10. Tyreek Hill's a 10.
Yes. And this is
ETN's a 10.
And I'm doing it going forward.
Sure.
Do you guys have your votes?
Sorry, what are we voting?
BBM 4 scale 0 to 10. Okay. How would you rate Derrick Henry?
BBM 4 scale. I want to know, is it scoring to date and rest of season, or just
today and rest of season?
Rest of season.
No, it should be today and rest of season. Like if he's helped you, he's helped you. Yeah, it's for
This is a
BBM 4. I mean, it's back. It's
okay, you're
backweighted
talking
to the
about
playoffs.
like if he's advancing.
Yeah, if he's helped you advance. Like Kyron would be, you should get credit for what he's done.
True.
How good has he been right now? Derrick Henry, he's RB
13 points a game.
Yeah.
He's had 0 20-point games in half PPR, but 17, 19.8, 18.3. Those are his 3 games over 15 points.
All right, I got mine. You guys got yours?
Pat, do you have yours?
Yeah, I got mine.
Just like I got to write mine a little darker. You're not going to be able to read it.
I'm about to flip my note card.
All right. I'm ready. I got a little notepad.
All right. I am flipping now. What does yours say, Gretch?
It's the pi symbol. It's 3.14159.
Nice.
You guys,
you talked me up to a 4. You talked me up to a 4.
You guys are out of pocket.
4 was where I started. Pat talked me down to 3.14.
I love that. I took you down. Wait, hang on. 7. Pete, if you're reviewing teams, you don't want to see Henry on them.
No,
yes,
I don't
you do.
See...
Everything is broke perfectly for Henry. He has the nut playoff schedule, and he's getting a quarterback upgrade.
Wait, no, you want a different pick in that area. Like
he doesn't have the nut playoff schedule. The Texans aren't like some team you run all over. They're fine.
On like the scale of 10, 9, 8, 7, it puts him as like a mid-third round pick. He's a good mid-third round pick if you redraft today.
To me, if it's a 1 to 10 scale, and you're saying he's a 7, it's a guy you want to see on teams that you drafted. And I don't. I'm glad I don't have much Henry. Henry's a guy I'm happy to not be having. I'd rather have Andrew. I want to see Andrews there. I want to see Hurts there. I want to see Allen there.
You're listing guys who are first and second round guys. Those are 10s, 9s, and 8s.
I'm listing guys around
a 3.
I'm listing guys around his ADP.
Like a 9th round pick if we redraft right now.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. On a scale of 0
it's a silent killer. It's a silent killer.
No, it's not. It's a little bit below 5. No,
you guys are out of pocket. Where you're ranking him is like a 7th or 8th round pick. He is not a 7th or 8th round.
No, that's not true. A 5.5 is middle, and I'm saying 4. You're saying he should be going in like the 1-2 turn.
No, I'm
the
not.
pie thing was just a bit. I don't actually think he's pie.
No, he was an early 3rd round pick, and you're saying he's been a hit from that, so he'd be higher.
No, I'm talking. This is BBM 4 scale. It's can this guy win you $3 million? You have to wait it. Things have broken perfectly for Henry.
They have not broken perfectly for him.
Yes,
I'm with Chris.
Have. He
7's too high, 4's too low.
Playoff schedule is the nuts, and he just got a quarterback upgrade.
His playoff schedule is not the nuts. The Texans are not as bad as we thought. He got maybe a quarterback upgrade, but Will Levis does not look like the second coming of some fucking good quarterback. I don't know. And like he's losing all the passing down work, and he's not been that efficient. So it's like he's not someone you want on rosters.
Your ranking is way too out of pot. You would be massively underweight on that ranking out of 0 to 10.
Well, I am underweight, Henry, and I think that's good. I think I'm happy to be underweight Henry.
What's his current advance rate? Do we know?
No, a 4. Pete, it's a 4. If I was at 0, I'd be a 1.
No, Pat, this is a 0 to 10. This includes the type 1
quarters
of the world who are
Here's what's happening, Pete. You and I don't even agree about what game we're playing. We're like,
yes,
we don't know what the scale is.
You are not understanding the spirit of the question. If we
I think I am understanding the spirit of the question.
Scale, you guys have take lock on this. It's funny because the chat is actually
you're saying
her sister is the Wicked Witch of the West, bro.
You guys are losing everyone here. I just want you to know you guys are completely off your rocker with this one.
You're arguing with him.
Agree with Pat. I literally go to the chat and agree with Pat is the first thing I see. What are you talking about? Karain is voting with his bias. See, that guy agrees. Oh, wait, no, that one didn't.
4 shares of Derrick Henry, and even I know that he's at like a 6 at worst going forward.
I was Tompkins got what I was doing.
See, you're saying that you want to be overweight Derrick Henry in your portfolio if he's a 6 at worst.
I'm talking about BBM 4 scale. I have the knowledge.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what a fucking BBM 4 scale is. That's what I'm saying. I think we're interpreting that term differently.
Bad. The BBM 4 scale is on your chances to win $3 million. And the things have improved from Derrick Henry since he was drafted.
Okay. So you think that you would want to be overweight Derrick Henry in your portfolio going forward because things have improved for him since he was drafted. Is that right?
Correct.
I disagree with that. I don't think that Derrick Henry's outlook for taking down the $3 million is better today than it was. I think it's not like way worse, but it's not. But he is someone that I would not want to flip over the cards on a team and see. Like, not that I would be terrified to see him, but I just don't. He's not someone I'm like, fuck yeah, I got Derrick Henry. Or even like, good.
So Pat, based on your sentiment of how you did it, like how you described it in my head, the worst I could say for his point rating is like 5.5. How you just described
that's
it.
Even.
That's like
but I'm saying
worst.
Why? Because that's even. I'm saying I'm not happy to see him. So therefore it should be lower than 5.5 baseline, right? What do you mean no? That's 5.5 is even, Pete.
No.
What do you mean?
Not.
It is
5.5 is on a scale.
No, between 1 and 10. Hang on. We don't even agree on basic math.
Pat.
No more questions about 0 to 10 from the chat.
Pete, 5.5 is the literal midpoint between 1 and 10. Correct?
No, Pat. Correct? Pat, how many players are drafted in 18 rounds?
I don't know what's happening.
All right, Pat. Let me do some math for you. 18 times 12. 216 players are drafted. So a 5.5 for me would put him in the top 100 of the players.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not what I mean. No, that's what I'm saying. Because I'm baking in cost. I'm saying at his cost, how do I feel about him? And if I feel that he's a 5.5, that means he's perfectly. I feel like he was perfectly fine at cost. I'm not saying anything about the top 100.
I was thinking of Pat's silent killer term, where you take a running back early and they're good but not great, but there's better options. That you could
5.5 means he's perfectly fine pick at the cost that we paid, and I think he's a little bit below that. So that's why I'd say he'd be starting at 5, and I took that down a little bit to 4.
Hang on, just so I understand. Like, give me what number is Alec Pierce? Because because you have a completely different frame of reference. What is
Alec Pierce would be like a 1.
Okay, all right. So you're now putting Alec Pierce within just a couple of points of Derrick Henry.
Well, no, I'm saying that Alec Pierce is a 1 because that's the lowest the scale goes. And I'm saying
that's the point. Derrick Henry necessarily has to be much higher than that.
No, because it's cost.
Because the raw points matter.
Well, okay, hang on. If you're saying that Derrick Henry versus Alec Pierce and no ADP cost consideration, then I completely agree with you. But that's not how I interpreted the question at all. I was thinking that there must be some consideration for where we were drafting Derrick Henry.
No, it is BBM4 scale, and we have the benefit.
Well, that's not. You keep saying BBM4 scale like it's a known term we've all agreed on. And I don't know what the fuck BBM4 scale is. I'm just imagining it is how I feel about the guy at his current cost.
This is my favorite comment. BBM4. Alec Pierce is improving with Minshew, though.
Well, he's still a 1. I'd say he's still a 1.
Oh my goodness,
this is hilarious.
No, I think
we just have a fundamental difference of what BBM4 scale means. Bonesaw says, Pat, it's the BBM4 scale. Thank you, Bonesaw.
Oh my goodness. No, I think Pat, if you did your rankings, rest of season rankings for Bestball Mania, where would you have Derrick Henry?
Well, to be honest, I'd probably have him around where he was going because there's been so many injuries and stuff. But I think that's a different point. I know it's your point.
Literally my point.
I know it's your point. But I think that's sort of a different question than saying, was he a good pick at ADP? Because we're trying to find, and it's actually my fault for framing it this way, but I think we're trying to find guys who massively exceed their ADP. And in doing so, we're also going to find guys who blow up our teams, which sucks. But like when I go through, I want to see Mark Andrews there. I want to see Jalen Hurts there. I'd rather see Josh Allen there. Like there's to me, he's like similar to Devontae Smith or something. Like it's like, I think
Devontae
delighted
Smith
to see this dude
is a good example. For
sure.
Trey,
Yeah.
But I would literally put a 7 up for Devontae Smith dead serious. Like
I know
Devontae
you
Smith is the
would by
epitome of
your
a
scale,
seven.
but I think that's just your.
What's
I think
your,
that's the difference
what's your
of our
number
two
for
scales.
Devontae Smith? What's your number
4.
for Devon?
4.
A 4.
But that's because we're
so
interpreting the
weighted towards
question
pass.
differently.
Yeah. You're weighted all towards pass. Yeah.
Yes.
And Pat, the entire contest, you know better than anyone. The playoffs are all that matter.
No. I'm sorry. I'm weighted toward the pass in the sense that I'm saying if I could go back and like redo my portfolio, Devontae Smith is someone that I wish that I would want like a little bit lower on, like not way lower on, but
Sure.
he would be someone I wouldn't be. So to me, a 7 is like, that's better than average. So I want to be bumping my exposure up relative to, and I feel that I would not want to be doing that. I'd want to have slight. Now I'm not completely out on Devontae Smith, so I'm not completely wading into the past of what he's done so far this season. We're interpreting the question differently. We fucking agree. we agree on Devontae Smith.
All I care about is the playoffs, and Derrick Henry's a 7.
What is Devonta Smith?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna start arguing about Devonta
Pete's
Smith?
meaning of a 7 is just different.
Where do you guys draft Devontae Smith right now? For all you care about is from now until week 17. Where do you draft Devontae
But it's
Smith?
tough.
You
It's
draft
tough,
him in the
man,
third
because
round.
Sure.
Same
Yes,
place you
but
draft
that's
Derrick
because
Henry,
we're
and they're
removing
both
about
7s.
Chat's having a hard time.
We just start thinking about the question differently.
There's a card
We're just thinking
out.
about the question differently.
There's a card out right now for Traylon Burks. He landed hard on his head. I think he is probably just concussed. I'm hopeful. It didn't look much worse.
Well, if any show is familiar with having live shows with very scary cart situations, it's us.
Yeah.
Our first ever live show. Oh man, the DeMar Hamlin game, that was rough. No, I mean I wasn't trying to, kill the chat.
No,
the chat.
It seems legitimately scary.
Missed this.
Yeah. Did you guys didn't pick up my joke? Have you guys seen the clip on Twitter where the guy just yells at his friend about the Wizard of Oz stuff, and he's like, his sister is the wicked of the East, bro. Grow up.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, God,
I heard you say Wicked Witch. I was like, what is Scratch Dog, man?
Yeah. Let's see if we get a thumbs up here at least. Something to make us feel a little better.
The play right now.
I think his head just hit hard, and his knees already been hurting. I mean, I don't know.
It's weird. Like his neck does like snap back on it.
They're not even showing. Is he laid down and stabilized? I mean, all the players are on the field. Like, when it's really serious, they often like are huddled around
I think
it.
they did that. I think we yelled about the BBM scale through that.
His head hit really hard. And then, like part of
he
his
gave
body
thumbs up.
like,
They're
limp.
saying they said he moved his toes. Yeah, the chat's giving us
Definitely a concussion.
Yeah, he got concussed.
Yeah,
which sucks. I mean, that's like a really serious. A brain injury is a really serious injury, and we see too many of them. But
shit, man,
it's not. I don't think paralysis or anything, which is what you start to fear when you start to see this long of a
thumbs up. That's good. He gave it a thumbs up.
So they turned it over on downs. Now they're going to run the ball. Titans have 3 timeouts. We got the 2-minute warning here. This game is about to end. Where are we at on our pick-ems? Because
we could use a Warren catch to get.
So the biggest one that would be big for us would be some Spears receiving yards, because that would help us hit that other 3-legger that we did at halftime.
Yeah.
And then Okonkwo would also hit a 3-legger. So
we want to get the Tennessee the ball back, and they're going to be in that script that we were hoping for.
Yeah. Okonkwo.
Spears lost a bunch of yards on one of his catches in the second half, which sucked. He's now at 4 catches for 4 yards. It's not ideal. So all we have right now cleared is the initial 3. We do have the,
and that's not even technically cleared. It's just reduced down to a 2-leg. But we did say we would.
Yeah. Diontae smashed.
He sure did.
He did.
At the risk of reigniting the BB.
Oh God, no!
What? Because I swear to God, Pete and I agree. Pete, what percentage of your portfolio would you want to, if you didn't know your own exposures?
Mm-hmm.
What exposure would you want to have on Devontae Smith and Derrick Henry? Like if you
I would
flipped
be
over,
right around the same, slightly overweight, 12 to 13% on both.
okay.
Yep.
I would
Right.
want to be at 7% on both. So I guess we don't agree.
Yeah.
I'd want to be slightly underweight on both.
Yeah, I to me, those are both guys I would be very excited to have down the home stretch.
Okay.
They're loading him into an ambulance right now.
Fuck.
Man, these shots are like, it's tough. It's scary. Like they did this with Tyrod Taylor last week. I mean, you hope that it's more precautionary, you know, is all I'm going to say.
The, what was I going to look? It's a bummer that we don't have overtime outs anymore either.
Overtime outs? Oh,
Yeah,
outs
we were on
to
a
overtime.
Overtime.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But we are going to get.
I thought you were saying the over on timeouts called.
Yeah, I did bet that secretly.
It's a bummer we lost
Dude,
the over on timeouts called. Can't hit it.
Dude, even Traylon, man, that poor dude, it's like every time he starts to get rolling, something
I know, man. Fucking
undercuts
sucks.
it.
What? Dude,
Every
and the thing
time.
I hate most about Twitter, too, is that there's dickheads right now being like, this fucking guy.
Well, just like they did with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
All right. So Spears and Okonkwo are the rooting interests here.
Burke's full movement, Donovan said.
Cool. That's good.
It did seem like just a very bad concussion, the way his head hit the ground.
Yeah. Jeez.
All right. Spears on the field. How about a little Spears catch and run in the flat?
There we go. He's open. Oh.
Oh,
That's almost the end of the game.
yeah.
Imagine if we had an interception sweat right now. We'd been like, no, catch that shit. He hasn't thrown a pick yet, but that was trying to throw a pick right there.
Oh, someone pointed that the pre-game 5-leg is live if Henry does not get another carry.
Oh, Allen Robinson hasn't caught another pass.
Oh, wow.
Is Derrick Henry?
It would be a push. It would be a push to 4.
But it goes down to 4. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I completely forgot.
It's a 10Xer.
Yeah, thank you, chat. I had forgotten about that. Yeah, this was our 5 picks.
Henry's half a carry under. Oh my god!
Holy shit!
Wow.
They're not going to play him though. They just play Tajay in the hurry up. They don't play him in the.
Well, we actually want them. Our best pick 'em is that they do what they just did, and they shut this down. We want the Steelers to just close this out.
Let's end this out. Let's get this.
Steelers aren't throwing anymore.
Allen Robinson under's gonna hit Pete when he caught a pass on the first drive.
Dude, if I nail this Henry and Allen
JJ
Robinson,
These are both Pete's. These are both Pete tackles.
Yes. Yeah. JJ told that story about Darnell Mooney with the long catch and then no more catches the rest of the game. And I mean, we're here.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Wow.
I can't believe Warren got 3 exactly. Catch another pass, me. At 87 rushing yards. He had a 100-yard total yard game.
Well, that's why I had zero interest in the Derrick Henry yards because he can always get one. That's why he's a 7. But the rush attempts, that's where you feel good.
Pete, I had some people sway to my
Chig?
side.
Chig! Yeah, get up and run! Go!
Chig! Let's go! Holy cow, we could thread some fucking needles here, guys.
Some stuff, baby. Chig higher 9.5. We definitely just got that.
Let's go.
That was a 10-yard catch.
Get some Spears now. Spears in the flat. Oh my
4th down. We definitely just got. So what do we need? Spears on all those. That one hit. That's clear.
Holy cow. Yeah, that cleared.
There it is. Our 3 hit there.
So the 3 picks here. This one hit here. We got this push or removing the Warren and then getting a 4-leg here. Man, Spears sets us up for a real
Spears
nice
would be.
Spears, okay. How many yards do we need?
Spears, we just are 12. 13.
12 and a half. 13.
Okay.
But that can happen here. Steelers calling a timeout. 4th down. If they get it to him and he converts, they got to go. It's 4th and 7. If he gets left open out of the backfield, this could be a big moment.
Man, that was big.
Dude, Chig, look at that.
Whew. That's
all
beautiful.
of our.
That was one of our halftime ones. Just hit. That was the first halftime one we did because you immediately picked out the Burks and the Conquell and Warren, and we're just like, let's just do those 3. Let's just fire that off.
Guys, this isn't a Taco Bell night. I'll spare.
No, it's not at this point. It's not a Taco Bell.
There are nights that are Taco Bell nights.
Yeah, we'll get back to the bell. We'll know
we
Bell.
We'll get back to the bell.
And we're gonna get Steph back on with Bella for the bell. That's for sure.
All right, let's go. Let's go, Tajay.
Let's just get this first down, and then we can worry about.
Yeah, that's what we need. Yeah,
he's pass blocking anyway.
Oh,
he got deflected. All right, well, we won 3.
Flag.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Holy shit.
We got 4 more downs for him to check it down. Oh, he's saying deflected.
Oh, they're saying it's tipped. They're saying it was
But
tipped.
no, I think we're going to get a hold. Diontae was calling for DeAndre Hopkins calling for it's a hold.
Yeah, it's a hold.
It's a hold.
It's not pass interference, so it doesn't matter. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's right, Joey Porter.
This is insane. What do we hit if we hit Spears? If we get 13 Spears yards? What do we need for the 5 for 1,000? The third one down.
Not getting there because it's
the third one down.
Dead.
Levis. Where's Levis's yards at? That one.
Oh my god.
So he still needs 40 yards. But
so if we get Spears getting absolutely loose.
Yeah.
we'll get the 3. The 3 right above it we'll get with just 13 yards.
Spears.
He's open.
Spears.
Oh. Well, we need yards too. If you complete something like
Levis,
that, and then
I'll tell you right now, Levis does not want to check down. Right?
No,
he doesn't.
No.
Good for him.
Nor should he. But he should, for us.
For us. Just one time for us.
How many? Did the Titans have any timeouts?
One of the things we don't want to happen is the Titans to score too much time because we don't want to get an Allen Robinson catch, right? Is that? I guess that doesn't matter because a Warren catch would be cool. Robinson's not going to catch anything.
Yeah. Spears.
Oh,
wow.
All right. We'll take the yards. We'll take the yards because Levis is getting close to that 5 picker. What's that 5 pick at? How many was that? 37, and we just got 20. So if we get the 13 for Spears, I think we're really close at this point.
Yeah, we just need the Spears part.
He's up to 245.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, he's gonna get there if Spears gets there.
So we just need the Spears.
Oh my god, 13 Spears yards,
Spears.
and we cleared 2 more. We already have 3. We have 3. We have 2 locked in for sure. Pete's 5 likely, but those are unders that could theoretically lose, and 2 more if Spears gets there. We'll have 5 potentially.
Yeah. Come on, Spears.
Leak out.
Yeah. All right.
All right, there's the yards. There's yards.
That helps our.
Gets out of bounds too. That's nice.
That helps our one league.
Honestly, the more the field shortens, the more Spears is in play.
I know. I agree with that. I like that call. We're starting to. I just wanted him to get like Levis wants to chuck from here, but now it's going to start tightening up. The dump off is coming.
Let Spears cook.
Come on, man.
Look at this, guys.
Him.
We're over there on Levis. It's just
Levis.
Okay.
Yards. Just the Spears part.
Spears. What yard line are they on? We're running out of field. Get Spears.
24.
Come on, baby. Come on. Get him.
Oh, he's out there. Open. No pass block. Oh, you got to throw it to him. Somebody get in his ear and say every play they're leaving the back open.
He could have
got the 13 and got out of bounds. You got to take that. There's 16 seconds left.
He almost threw an interception because he never stopped looking at Spears. I swear.
Dude, I mean, you got to take that
Spears
flat
is
route.
Wide open in the flat.
And he gets upfield and he gets out of bounds. What you need. They're not guarding the sideline. Why are you throwing to the middle of the field? Like, that's crazy.
That's a rookie mistake, man. Got to get Spears involved. Every vet knows that.
Why are you throwing that's going to be a tackle in the middle of the field. You're going to have one shot at the end zone once you get it spiked. Like, take that out. So there's your out.
There's your out.
All right. We need the touchdown here because we ran out of field.
Shit.
Yeah. Not great, Bob.
Man, hitting the Levis over too.
I know this one, man. Getting it. I like that, right? Doing
Guys,
Levis.
Tyjae Spears' reception was for -8 yards.
Seriously?
God, that's so brutal.
All right, let's go, Spears.
Come on,
buddy?
Get Spears involved.
We got 2 cracks at it. 2 cracks. Leak, buddy. Leak. Nope, he's blocking. Oh, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it. It was a good sweat.
All right, well, we hit that 4-leg that we started with.
Play. He had the flat on the dropped interception. Yeah,
we ended up having a pretty profitable night because we.
What was the 4-leg for?
So we
that was one of our starts. That was for it would have been for 1,000, I think.
But one's a push.
So no, it's 750. It'd be 750.
Yep.
750. And then the other one that was going to be what? The 3 went down to half. Oh, we got to do a randomizer. We got to pick a winner.
Yeah.
We got to give away money. Wait, so hang on. I want to just do the accounting because I always forget. How many halftime ones did we do?
What's up?
We'll grab those after
halftimes.
the show. We can grab those after the show.
I'll grab them for you.
We did, I think, 4 $50 ones, Pat, is my guess. I think we did 4.
I'm just removing some duplicates, and we are good.
What do we have? Wheel of names. Who's it going to be?
Wait, how many spins are we doing?
Just one, man. $200.
Or I mean, how many shuffles? How many shuffles?
That we can discuss. Why isn't this copying over here? Here we go. All right.
Do as many as Diontae Johnson's fantasy points from tonight.
You guys are really getting to see how the sausage gets made because I have to. It just my OCD won't let me do this without the ship chasing logo in here.
Yeah, for sure.
16 for Burks. Kevin suggests.
Yeah, let's do 16 for Burks.
That's a good one.
That's a good answer.
All right, 16?
16.
1,
yeah,
2,
16.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Who's it going to be? Luke Big Shots.
Luke Big Shots.
Luke Big Shots. Luke, you love to see.
If you're in the
Congratulations, Luke Big Shots.
Luke Big Shots. That is the underdog name there. Let's Luke Big Shots. Luke Banker, aka Mark. Sell the team on Twitter. Congratulations, Mark. You have won.
No, Mark sell the team. I think he's a Raiders fan.
He's a Raiders fan. That's
Mark
that's
Davis
a Raiders
is
fan.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
He deserved it.
Congrats,
He deserved
man.
that
It's
this week.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Will
right.
pick me up for a rough week.
Yeah.
Mark Sell the Team is his Twitter handle. I love
Good
it.
for you. I mean, he's one. Like, I don't know how long Luke's been on Twitter, but like, that's a commitment.
That's right. Well, yeah, very nice. It's a bummer, man. One more Warren reception, dropping that 5-leg down from a 20x to a 10x definitely stings. But still,
that is
a
why
very
we like
profitable night for the pick 'em.
The even numbers on receptions is something that we've kind of been drawn to when we already like it because it allows this, you know.
Yeah. Yes. Worked out. Yeah, pretty nicely. This was what I would call like a very not like clean sweat, right? Like I didn't even realize that one with the 5-leg. I just because I thought Derrick Henry buried it. I honestly thought he had more than 17 rush attempts.
It seemed like he was going to cruise.
I was
like,
oh, he has
that
like 24 rush attempts.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even think. That's crazy.
Some great calls, Pat. The early sack call. And Gretsch, that was both of your guys' respective flag plants. Gretsch said he was going to flee the country if Diontae Johnson didn't clear it. And Pat pounded the table for Levis sack. So those were both beautiful calls. And I was the one floating the Henry and the Allen Robinson lowers. Yes. And I was like, these aren't clean, but they.
But you know ball. You know ball. You want them. When you win unders by a half of a unit, you know ball. Yeah. Like you know that's how you play the under.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
What a night.
All right, dudes. I appreciate you all. It sounds like Treylon Burks is going to be okay. So that would have been a huge buzzkill. It still fucking sucks, man. That guy is so good at football and just can't stay healthy.
Man. I know. It's so fucking brutal.
Appreciate all of you. And god damn it, Sean, with these goddamn super chats, man, even with a $25 super chat, this guy gets his fucking money's worth. I'll tell you what, Sean. This guy gets it going.
He nailed it.
Hang on. I want to ask you one more question about this. Okay? I'm trying to think of a good play.
This is the kind of shit that I would never entertain on Twitter. I would never get in this debate. I would never get it on Discord, but somehow on YouTube, you get
what is Chuba Hubbard for you?
Nailed it.
Okay. All right. Now I'm right back in. Do you want me to write it down?
Yeah, let's go. Well, no, I don't want you to write it down because I think we have a different interpretation of the scale as part of it, but I think this might help illuminate our difference.
Can we agree on this? That we all show our scores and it's a walk-off score with no debate because I need to go to bed.
Oh, sure.
I do like that. Yeah. I love that.
I need to find
Chuba Hubbard. And it's
Chuba
points
Hubbard
to now plus points going forward.
I'm just going to show fingers because I don't have anything I don't have a pen.
All right.
I'm going to give one hint. I'm going with a decimal.
Okay.
I'm using a decimal scoring for this one.
What'd you do? 7. That's
9.
Point what? I did 7.
9.
Oh,
He took
6.5.
starting job
Have
in the
a good
late
night.
rounds, baby.
$6.9.